Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the final stream of the Rugby World Cup. The big show, the ultimate matchup, the final dance, so many names, so many things to call it. But come the end of the day, this is only one thing, the Rugby World Cup final between England and South Africa. And you can bet your bottom dollar this one is going to be a cracker. Thank you, everyone who has come by to join in to the stream tonight. If you're new around here, this is going to be updates, it's going to be chat, it's going to be all sorts of goodies like that. So if you want to have a bit of your say, a bit of a talk about the game as it goes on, you're more than welcome to stick around throughout the matchup tonight. But as always, thanks everyone for joining and coming and having your say on the game tonight. Of course, it is the final. It is England. It is South Africa. And we are probably only 7 or 8 minutes away from kickoff. We've already got some support going on in the chat. Go Box says Odunga getting support for the Springboks. Oh, and Paul is trying to... Goodness me, Paul. You always catch Paul for the use of Skype, eh? You always catch it out for the use of Skype. Come have a chat, Paul. Skype is kicking right up. Andreas is here. He says he's nervous. It's going to be a close game. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat with Paul, shall we? See what Paul's got to say. Let's get him onto the right window. And let's get him with some audio as well. Let's get Paul showing up there. Let's get rid of the... Everyone's going to have to wait for the chat for a second. That's all right. You don't seem to have audio. You're there. You're supporting England. But you don't have an audio setting. But that's all right. Whatever. I don't know why. Hang on. Now you've got an audio setting. Now you've got an audio setting.
Now I've got an audio setting.
I'll fix it. You're back. Paul's here. Finally, you worked it out. Now go on, Paul. You were saying
now
World Cup final. Welcome along, by the way.
Thank you very much, sir. It's World Cup final. I'm actually quite confident for England in this game. To be honest with you, my only concern is can they actually get up again after such a big game against the All Blacks last weekend? Because Eddie was talking about them being sort of planning for that game for 2.5 years. So does that mean that all the tricks have been played, all the emotional stuff has been done, and actually England come out and play a flat game tonight? Or is Eddie Jones that tournament coach that we think he is after taking Australia to the final in 2003, winning with South Africa in 2007 as part of that group, and then beating South Africa in 2015 with Japan? Could this be the final? Could this be the time that Eddie Jones actually gets his hands on the cup itself and wins the whole thing?
Well, I can see you're very confident. You're not the only one. We've got a few confident people in the chat too. A couple of go-English. Natalie's supporting the English, pecking the palms. What sort of game are you expecting? I wrote my preview this morning. I talked about how I think it's going to be an arm wrestle. It's going to be a battle between pretty much two big forward packs, and whoever's going to get the dominance there, really irrelevant of what the back line's going to do. It's going to be those matchups in the second row, especially in the back row as well.
Look, neither of these sides like chasing. So I think we should have a pretty good idea in the first 10, 15 minutes as to how this one's going to go. If one side gets a score or over a score ahead in that time, then I think you've got to say they are in a very seriously strong position. So, that's look how the first 10 minutes go. And England have come out and had some really, really good starts. If they don't have a good start, then you've got to say South Africa will be favourites to finish things off. So 10, 15 minutes, I reckon we'll know what's going to happen. I think I don't think we'll see that much difference from South Africa, but I do think they'll spread it a bit quicker out wide. Now they've got Chesney Colby there. I don't think they'll be box kicking right up to the 22 like they were last weekend. I think they'll probably play once they're in England's half, but don't expect them to play out their own 22. England, I think they'll mix it up a bit more. They've got the strike weapons, and they have. And I think they'll come out with a set game plan as to what they're going to do in the first 3-5 phases when they get the ball. So expect to see something special in that first opening play, because I think that's where England will have put a lot of thought, a lot of planning into.
We're going to see many additions of 7 or mostly of threes? I'm going for the latter.
Yeah, and we might see it as well, to be honest. But I think both sides will try and get a 7 to get that initial lead, and then look at your threes to keep it ticking over. So yeah, I think we'll have an early try, and then threes from there on in.
So we're not far away from going. What's your final predictions?
Yeah.
Give us your final predictions before. Obviously, you got a raging party going on in the background. Therefore, we can hear it a mile away. House swing party by the sounds of things. What's your final prediction?
Well, it's not house warming because I've got no internet at home. I've had to go around someone else's house. But the England by 7 is my prediction, and I'll try and catch up with you guys at halftime to see how things are going.
Sounds good. We will see you then, Paul.
Right.
Thanks for your thoughts.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
See you. Wow, there we go. There we go. We will get rid of Paul and bring everyone's chat back up on to the window. Swish, swish, swish. There we go. That's what Paul thinks is going to happen tonight. He thinks we're going to see one team go out for an possible early lead, gain a bit of dominance on the scoreboard, and just look to tick it over. That is going to be an impressive factor if we can see something like that. If we're going to see a try, it's going to be very similar to what England did to the All Blacks last week, isn't it? That early try, that set them on the way, got them that lead, and they never looked back. They kept consolidating points. They kept putting the kicks over, getting that dominance. I just don't see that they're going to get that same dominance versus this Springboks pack. That's what I just think, that we're going to see a little bit more out of these guys from the South Africans, defensively and also on attack. We didn't see last week, the All Blacks got no go forward at all from their forwards. They were caught behind the gain line time after time. They never went forward. Their kicks in the end were going backwards. They were rushed. They were just looking for anything they could get. I don't think they're going to get that same sort of freedom, I guess, going into this grand final matchup. Gracie's here. Welcome on, Gracie. Good to see you. Sean's here in the chat as well. More support for the English. Andres is nervous. Who's got the score predictions? Give us your final results. World Cup champions. How much by? How it's going to be? Let us know in the comments or in the chat there what you guys think is going to be the final score for the Rugby World Cup final. This is it. This is the big one. Now, if you didn't see it earlier yesterday, there was a video on my channel that predicted the game slightly on Rugby Champions. That was my little early telling of what might happen. Is it going to be the same? Who really knows? Patrick, welcome along. Good to see you, sir. And Gracie is there. Let's go England. Good luck, box. So a bit of a hopeful for England. And good luck to the Springboks on the other side of things. It's going to be a big game, isn't it? Big matchups here. We look through the sides, and I pinpointed a number of players that are going to be crucial to who will win this game. 1 and 3 on either side. Marco Vunipola and Kyle Sinclair up against Tendai Toawera and Franz Maholba for the Springboks. Those two on each side are going to be key. Then, of course, Maro Tolje is the key by himself, but his battle with a guy like Eben Etzebeth is going to be colossal. But more than any of those is the back row. How much have these guys been talked about in the build-up to this game? Tom Curry, Sam Underhill, and of course, Billy Vunipola. Those are 3 massive keys for the English. And of course, on the other side, Slayer Khaleesi, the captain. They've got Peter Steff, Dutoy, and the big number 8, Dane Vermeulen. I mean, this is a matchup made in almost old school rugby heaven, isn't it? This is the kind of game where anything could go down. It is a big forward battle. It's something we'd see in the early 90s, I guess you could say. The big packs just like crunching at each other through that sort of period. So I can't wait. I think it's going to be a low scorer. I think it's going to be high energy, but in the small numbers. One-off plays, one pass, pick and goes, trying to get over that advantage line, trying to get that dominance to the breakdown, and trying to control the game there. Box kicking, of course, will be huge. And if anyone's going to use their backs, I do think it will be the Springboks by a slight little whisker. Might have that little bit more incentive to do it with the likes of that explosive ability of Makozola Mapimpi, and of course Cheston Colby on this other side. That's if they can get the ball of Damien Dialendi. So much to go on here. Of course, for the English, they've got the George Ford and Owen Farrell combination. There are so many factors. Someone's going to have a blinder here. Someone is going to rip this game apart. And that is going to control this game. Glassy thinks they will target Daly with high balls. The South African number 12, that's Damien Dialendi, challenging him. Yeah, Dialendi can put some big tackles in as well. So what impact he's going to have defensively and attackingly is going to be the big key. Why not? Get it out there, Elias. Get it out there. Let us know your 100% thoughts. No holds barred. It's all into it. We are ready to go. Let's get things right on the right side. Let's get rid of the pre-match. Pre-match is done. And let's chop that over there. We're ready to go. Let's get the timer. The English are talking to each other. Now look at that. That look on Owen Farrell's face is not the look on Owen Farrell's face 7 days ago, is it? That look of that murky or smirky confidence isn't there. Also, England got no speed on the bench. No winger backup, only Slade. That is true. Their bench consisting for backs, Ben Spencer, so no Willie Hines, obviously. Mention that, Ben Spencer, called up for the World Cup final. What a time to get called up for it as well. Henry Slade, Jonathan Joseph, I think you'd say, Glassy, is a fairly capable player. Speed is definitely on his side. He's a strong guy as well. He's going to be a bit of a factor as this game wears on. Where he comes in, whether it's the centres or possibly on the outside backs, I think they'll leave that till the very bitter end and see health and fitness of the players and how they go. World Cup final. Duran Garcias is in charge. And he's assisted from Roman Poit and O'Keefe on the sidelines. And Ben Skeen is the TMO. Sadly, we cannot show the game. This is copyrighted material. We say it every single time. So no need to ask. We are underway. The World Cup final is go. And it's dragged down. Curry at the back. And early possession going to England. Youngs holds it up. He's directing Sinclair around. And Youngs box kicks straight away. High up it goes. A chase coming in from May. Dane Vermeulen. It's done a lot of covering back there as well for the South Africans. On their 10-metre line. English side of halfway. The Springboks with ball in hand. And little surprise, it's one out from Faf de Klerk. And a penalty to the Springboks. Early chance, early points. You got to take him. Give the ball to Handré Pollard. Take the three. Start again. There is less than a minute on the board. It's got to be a go. It is indeed. And that is Courtney Laws penalised. Mahoba took the ball in. And Laws not getting out of the way. I mean, let's be fair to the poor guy. He couldn't get out of that, could he? No way at all. So Pollard with his first penalty shot at goal. As always, everyone in the chat's ahead of what's going on my screen, but that's all right. Pollard still lining up his kick. Why Spark? Why is Spark half a minute behind? I don't know. But that's the way it goes. What a start for a chance this could be for the Springboks. 40 metres out, just to the right. Pollard lines it up, and as you guys say, it sways away to the right. And our first shot at points is a stray. Handré Pollard missing, and Rassie Erasmus is looking rather gloom. And that missed chance. That wasn't a tough one, to be fair. Pollard had the length for days to get that over. But not the accuracy, which is very strange for a player of his calibre. England take this from deep in their own 22, and it goes down just outside the 22 for Pollard, and Pollard goes high. Big chase coming in, as we thought, high balls, and it is taken from Ford. And Ford sits it back. Youngs fires it out to Curry, who goes straight into Faf de Klerk. And as we know what Faf de Klerk's all about, he's gone up for it as well. Big high ball. Waiting for it is Mapimpi. runs away from three of his own players, Mapimpi, and half breaks the line, and there's, yes, man with arms in the air and no clue what planet he's on. And Ben Young has screamed at Glacius to stop the game. Big injury. As you guys saying in the chat, England player KO'd. Manus not know. Is it Sinclair? Mapimpi knocked him dead. He's out. We've got this. We're playing, what is this? AFL now. Here was Sinclair come running in, and wow, I don't know what did he hit there? Is it an elbow to the head? Can't see it from that angle, but Sinclair went round the back, and Italje alongside Sinclair together. Some collision there has knocked him out, and Mapimpi knocked him dead, says Idunga. Good start, Marcus on it. Can't beat him. Take him out of the game. I'm sure that's not exactly what he was doing at all. Italje's elbow, that's kind of what it looked like. That's it, what it looked like. Wrapping around Italje with the elbow. Looks like scorning the, let's stop the clock there. Scorning the English tight head prop. And looks like Dan Cole's coming on a lot earlier than he would have been expecting. That is for sure. So Kyle Sinclair's a bit of a game-changing player. He's a bit of a tackle breaker. He's a gain line getter, and he's an everything changer about the game as well. So his loss for pretty much 77 minutes, I don't think we're going to get that same impact of a player like Dan Cole in this English team. Is this early chance and advantage to the Springboks? Let's get the timer up to scratches where we're looking. So we're just under 3 minutes in here. We'll pause that on there. So the stretcher is on, but I mean, Sinclair's a big, big lad. He is a massive boy. 116 kilos. So his profile says. I don't know if that's that stretch is going to be strong enough to carry him. So concern on the face here of Eddie Jones as he looks on. World Cup final, he's been here before. Sinclair's a much better scrummager, says Adunga. Yeah, you're dead right. Much better scrummager, much better ball carrier, much better defender. I think overall, much better overall player. And also, for Dan Cole, what the commentary team's talking about at the moment as well is the fact that he's going to have to play 77 minutes. So, that's big. And I mean, not since yesterday, when we've seen Dylan Lewis play 77 minutes against the All Blacks. I don't know why or how or what he was on that long for. That's pretty much a rare thing for a front rower to do, to play that sort of long of a match. Italje might want to tape up that elbow because he's already wiped out one of his own men. So an early stoppage, a very early stoppage. 0-0 the score. 3 minutes in. Oh, the guy's probably out cold. Idunga, don't be too harsh on him. I know, he actually looks all right. What's your name, Kyle? Oh, I'm not quite sure. Just walk him off. Really? They're going to walk him off, surely. So why would you want to... Here we go, let's see that. It didn't really look like much of an elbow there from Italje. More of like an upper arm to the chops. So he's walking his way off anyway. Regardless, he is managing to walk off already. He'll go off. He'll rest it up now. The World Cup is out of the hands of Kyle Sinclair. And now we've got Dan Cole making his way on to replace him. Two big players. But the difference in quality here could be quite interesting as this game wears on. Overall, it is a Springboks scrum, which is, it's pretty easy to forget about because that long ago that the game stopped. What have we been going for? So the game's been going for about 12 minutes of actual time, but only 3 minutes of game time. There you go. 3 minutes in, 0-0. Faf de Klerk with the feed to the scrum. And Glassie's getting a bit more confident. The beast beating Cole, he says. De Klerk pops it into the middle row and he has to fish it out. His legs everywhere. Finally, the Springboks get advantage and they start to charge forward. Penalty! And advantage, no, they'll play it out. Mpimpi getting a wide ball. He plays with it and he goes infield running into Underhill. De Klerk, they're going to use width here, the Springboks. They've got it on their side advantage. Wide looking was Vinny LaRue. He gets away from Ford. Offloads to Colby, who knocks on. Almost magic. Does he knock on? Garcia says he's regathered that. That's amazing work from Faf de Klerk. And Benambi away to Vermeulen. Down to the 22. We're seeing the Springboks with some real encouraging play here. They're using width. They're using the numbers. God, brilliant work there from Khaleesi to Mpimpi. On the left-hand touchline. 10 metres out. And it looks like England may be turning this one over. Are they? The ball is who knows where. Faf is showing it to the assistant referee. And it finally comes back to England. And here is Vunipola going away. It's Billy to Mako. And backwards. You see straight away England going backwards. And the first real chance for them to get some momentum going forward on the ball. And it's going back to Youngs. Guess what he's going to do here? I'll give you 3 seconds. He's not going to box kick. Didn't see that coming. England running out wide. Oh, trouble there as the ball goes free. But now a chance for Johnny May. He gets away from Dearlendy. Colby's back there and he stops him in his tracks on the 22. With the wingers and fullback back, England chance their arm and now they get to the 22. Courtney Laws has a go. Young's away to Farrell. And he kicks this one away. England brave, says Glassie. Here is Pollard going high, very high, chasing his own kick, and he clashes. Oh, what a take from Pollard! Up against Ford, he clutches it from his grasp. Here's some toe error, and the beast charges in the 22. Still going here. Are the Springboks using more width than I ever thought I'd see them use? This is exciting play from South Africa. They're looking wide. Oh, and Vinny LaRue knocks it on. And Benambi picks up the loose pill and goes away again. Wow, I didn't think we would see this style of play from the South Africans. They are really opening it up. They're looking for width. They're looking for players out wide, getting on the outside. And look at this, England are not shutting this down like we've seen against the All Blacks. Now remember what Paul said at the start. Can England, who have prepared for 2.5 years, blah, 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 for their match against the All Blacks, have they prepared for 2.5 years for this match against South Africa? Time has paused. Has got another stoppage. Did England expect to be playing the All Blacks in the final? Nothing can be taken for granted. The Springboks all over this game. But, as you say, Glassy, in the chat there, can they score one? They're all on top in the opening 20 minutes, like the AB's game. But so far, haven't put any points on the board. 6.5 minutes in. And it is a scrum feed inside the 22 here, the English. Ben Young's ball in hand. And of course, Dan Cole on early for Kyle Sinclair. The scrum battle will be immense. Who will get this advantage? Who will get the incentive in the pack battle? In Tawera, up against Cole, Maholbra, up against Marco Vunipola. Young's feeds and the scrum collapses down and we will have a reset. The first of how many resets tonight? World Cup final, it is all on the line. 7 minutes in. And already we've seen some fantastic rugby. South African scrum is too strong, says Glassy. He's full of confidence. Don't blame him. Really don't blame him at all. But remember, Glassy, that still 0-0. And that is the big thing about this. It's nice and easy to control the game, to be in charge, but you've got to put points on the board. Billy Winnie-Puller waits at the back of the scrum as Ben Youngs looks to feed again. And oh, that is a good scrum. That is a dominant scrum by the Springboks, with the ball somehow squirts out the back, and back there is Farrell, who gets a loose, wobbly old pass, and penalty to South Africa. Not releasing the ball. Vermeulen all over on Farrell, and he was not letting that go at all. Great work at the breakdown, as we talked about. The breakdown is going to be so crucial. Whoever gets that dominance, whoever can control their own ball, get it out quickly, and do that part well, is going to win this game. There was a poor pass from Billy Winnie-Puller, and then Dane Vermeulen. He is a monster. Khaleesi there as well. The hand was all over the ball. And look at the fans and the crowd in the green. Brilliant work. South Africa get an easier shot now. And let's get surely the second shot at goal. Andre Pollard is lining it up. And this one is pretty much right in front on the 22. He could throw it over in his sleep. Surely. Pollard, yes, does exactly that. And we have our first points of the grand final. It is England 0, South Africa 3. Penalties, penalties, penalties. That's what it is all about. Points on the board. Andre Pollard. 1 from 2 he is. And we go back to halfway to reset, to re-go again. And up it goes. England kicking off, and Villaroo takes it down nicely. Right on the 22. Faf de Klerk's there, and he's not going to box kick. Really mixing up their style here. Go one out. Now, de Toya's bracing there. And de Klerk gets his kick away, and it finds touch as well. Right on the 10-metre line, Springboks side of halfway. Faf's not too happy with his result there from that kick, but gets him out of trouble, gets him out of their own 22. And like you say, Glassy, Owen Farrell is standing in the line out. What the hell is he doing there? He's taken off. He's playing scrum half, and they've got a lot of numbers in this back line, but they don't use the width. And they charge straight through. Tuolangi doing the big charging work of the Springboks. Oh, that is great defence. That is excellent defence from Faf de Klerk. Give the little man a whole bunch of credit there. He come running out of the line, cut that wave off, and forced the pass from Ben Youngs. It was, look at this, cut that line off. He went for the big wonder ball over the top and missed everyone. There could have been an Anthony Watson standing on top of Anthony Watson's shoulders, and he wasn't going to catch that. The ball dribbles into touch, and the cracks are in the English defence at the moment, in the English attack, to be fair. So the Springboks in Banambi with a line-out throw, just inside their own half, and they're not sure where the ball is. That is almost so deceptive there from the Springboks. Evidence of Beth took it away, and no one knew who had it. Atolje just about wrapped him up, but the Springboks hang on by a whisker here as now they go wide. LaRue trying to get away. Lekanyu arm in his way. Colby steps back inside, and Colby knocks it on, but we're going back, all the way back to the first knock on from England. Sean's back. How you going, Sean? Welcome back along to the grand final. What a match it's been so far. Not quite as bruising as I thought it would be. I thought this would really be a arm wrestle, a tussle, just one-off plays, forwards charging the line. But South Africa have chosen to get a little bit more involved here, to a little bit more open, to get a little bit more expansive, and I think that shocked England a little bit. They're not prepared for this, and this is probably what the All Blacks felt like last week when they were just shut down on all their plays. They knew what to do. Sean is backing the Poms. Interesting call there, Sean. So we have a scrum feed for the English knock-on from that breakdown. Maro Atolje knocking the ball on the breakdown. And what's really interesting here is how good this Springbok scrum is. We know it's good, but it's fantastic, isn't it? It's showing everyone up here, and I guess a little consolation would be for the All Blacks and say, we beat them early in the tournament, and yet they've come away developed over the last 6 weeks to become and play with this, to get this position, and potentially win this game. Would it be a tremendous turnaround from the Springboks, lose their first game? What really would be interesting is to have them as a team losing a game in the pool stage, finally winning the tournament. Odunga says they've come to play with pace and England weren't expecting it. Yep, they're playing with pace, they're playing with width, and they are still controlling the breakdown, and they're still controlling the tackle and the set piece as well. Delendy takes the hit up straight off the scrum, and Faf de Klerk kicks just inside the English half, and chasing after it is brilliantly taken from Anthony Watson from the clutches of Lutiaga. Now England kick it away, and there's a big gaping hole between winger and fullback here for the Springboks. Back there goes Billy LaRue, and he chooses to look for touch, and he finds a 10-metre line. And it is just inside the Springboks half. England pretty happy with that result. Why not so? Anthony Watson doing good work in the air. Nervous line out, England. I think nervous set piece, England. They've not controlled their scrum. They've struggled really to hit their line outs, apart from that fancy little special player, Von Farrell, which everyone was kind of like going, what the hell are you doing in here? At the front, it's a real mess, you're right. Faf de Klerk has splattered himself on it, and it comes out for England, bouncing out of the breakdown. Corey thinks that England will win by 3. I'm going complete opposites here, Corey. I think Springboks are going to win this by 3. I think it's going to be close, it's going to be tight. But this is going to be the story of this final. Penalties, mistakes, errors, scrums, set piece, and of course, kicks a goal. 3-0 the score. 14, almost 15 minutes in. Springboks will love the scrums. They will love more lineouts. They will be more than happy to kick this out because they know they can upset this English pack. That man, Eddie Jones, he looks a bit concerned. His team's only behind by 3. That won't be his concern. His concern will be that his team hasn't looked like getting in a position to score, let alone doing the job itself. Rossi Erasmus is looking much more animated, but still very calm. We'll see the anger later on. We hopefully won't see any Mokko checkers bashing the benches like we've seen throughout the tournament so far. So it is a scrum to the Springboks. Faf has it on his own 10-metre line. This is a very good scrum, and I think the Springboks have it on the bench as well with the intense replacements. But of course, they have got Marks, Kitshoff and Koch coming on as well. So 3 very capable scrummagers that can come on and carry on this momentum that these starters have definitely kept from their previous matches as well. Maholbra is a monster of a man. How big is that guy? Franz Maholbra, 123 kilos. Wow. That is some weight in this pack. And what is he up against? Marco Vunipula, who weighs in at exactly the same. Wow, there is some heavyweight bacon on that side of the scrum. I tell you what, 1v3. England and the Springboks, look at this. Great work again. There it is. Penalty to South Africa, and they will be allowed to clear their line again. Marco Vunipula getting done in here by the work of Franz Maholbra. Here's Pollard with the penalty. We're almost halfway through the first half, and a great play at the back. Johnny May clutches it from the sidelines. And Elliot Daly smacks it upfield again. We're going straight back to the last set piece. Well, we've seen George Bridge do this. Well, he's I mean, are we talking cricket rules here? Because if we're talking cricket rules, you have to be in the field of play to jump out of the field of play before you touch it. Whereas here, the foot on the line. So obviously we're not talking cricket rules here. Etzebeth takes the line out down just inside the English half, and Dan Cole's on the wrong side here straight away. He's getting in trouble, Mahova. Oh, this is great work. He's in the back, and so is Mbanabi. Cole is getting an absolute earful from Mbanabi. As it's 10 metres upfield, now de Klerk has it. England rush forward, and Delendi massively tries to keep his feet on tact as Vunipoula's charged straight through, but he's not allowed to get hold of that ball. Here's Etzebeth. Another strong run going over that advantage line. One out plays, here's the box kick. Up goes Faf towards the 22 of England, and Johnny May takes that ball. Sensationally caught just inside his 22, and he takes a mark. May taps. May's not kicking. May is running. Oh, and it's a great take. Great take there from Courtney Laws. Knocks it on off his chest. Regathers brilliantly. Now the box kick from Youngs. Outside his 22 by Whisker. Up goes Pollard. And who has caught that? His arms everywhere in the air, but it's an England penalty. I really don't think that Garcias really knew what he wanted to do there. Offside is the call. Pollard come forward, and Peter Steptoe was retreating back. So, well, there's the first bench smash. That's a difficult call, isn't it? Very hard call to give, but England get it. And Garcias really didn't know what he wanted to do there. The English were up in arms. The Springboks were trying to play on. No one had much of a clue. Peter Steptoe doesn't look like he's actually got into the game yet. He's probably the only man out there who's not sweating up a storm. And now England, Jamie George, big throw here. On the Springboks 22. At the front, Laws, too easy. Pop back in to May. Goodness gracious me. And May is picked up and dumped. Now they go one off there, and again it's George this time with the go. Youngs on the 22. Away to Curry. Curry takes on his opposite number. Kulisi takes him down. Youngs again changes direction, goes to the short side. Oh, Farrell gets to Vunipoula, who smashes straight to Faf de Klerk, who takes him down with a great tackle around the bootlaces. Marco Vunipoula, just put down on the 22. England going backwards a metre or two at a time now. Now to Laws. Laws, good run from Laws here. He breaks through one. Mbanabi now looks like he's out cold. And there's another player. He looks like he's going to be gone as well. Now England come wide. Elliot Daly in the line. But can't make their way through. Youngs gets it again. Bit of width this time for Ford. Going to Billy Vunipoula. Offloads to Marco. Marco going around Kulisi, who just hangs on. Quick ball over the top. Why are we playing on here? There's a man who's getting the ball thrown over his head. We should be stopping this game. Penalty, England. Regardless, playing the ball on the ground. And England will have a chance here to reply. England are back, says Glassy. Mbanabi looked like he was out cold. And straight away on, Farrell is looking for the 3. Are we going to have a time off here? Laws on Colby. That is brilliant. Chester Colby releases him fairly. But as he offers, what's the penalty for there? It didn't look like he was... Mbanabi, yes, straight into the knees of Laws. Not the greatest tackle technique I've ever seen. Mbanabi does not want to go off, but Malcolm Marks, you know, will definitely be on there. Penalty was for offside, so it wasn't anything to do with the tackle. Interesting. Didn't go around. Well, he was a tackler. He was a tackler, yeah, I guess so. Laws moved forward more than he probably expected for a little Colby. But we do have a penalty shot, so let's tack this up. It's going to be Farrell, who's running away from the ball at the moment. He's not actually taking the kick. And we got this a stoppage as Lutiaga, looks in a bit of pain here. Tiaga does not look good. Looks like he can't even flex his arm back. So early subs in the final here could be a telling factor come full time. And of course time stopped. Why didn't I stop time before? Let's get the time up to date. There we go. Vidno saying go Boks. I tell you what, it is very close. 3-0. Springboks dominating early, but England has been mentioned in the chat here. How coming back into this game. Ludziaga really reluctant to go off. What would you do here? You've got to do what's best for the team. You've got to do what's best to win the Rugby World Cup. I mean, you're still going to get a medal, but you've got to do the best thing here. Oh, so that arm straight into Billy Vunipola. It's a dead arm. Probably worse, but looks like an absolute... God, goodness me, it looks terrible. His arm is just flopped away completely. So Franco Mustart's come on. Ludziaga's off. Malcolm Marx is on. And Benambi's gone off. So we've had 3 pack replacements. 2 in the front row, 1 per side. And of course in the second row as well, Mostert coming on for Ludziaga. It's all happening, I tell you what. It is all on here. Some big shifts going to be for some big boys. As we've still got time off. Here come the replacements. Marx coming on. And, of course, Mostert as well. Again, the 20-minute South Africa Storm. Says glad to see England just holding out so far. If they get this, which they should, it's going to put us back on level peggings, of course, but all that dominance, like we spoke about in that opening quarter of an hour, makes for what? Nothing. An even ball game because Owen Farrell adds the extras. And it is 3 points all. England are back in the game. 22 minutes gone and a half. And it's 3 points to 3, and there's changes aplenty. Imanabi is... No, he's not back on. They're just advertising marks. Oh, bad take at the back. And Colby's saying it's a knock on by England, and Colby's got the call. Now, that was a terrible, terrible read there from England. Kickoff went up, but Tolze went for it. He undercooked it, and it went straight over the top, and Curry was not expecting that at all. He was looking, oh, it's gone straight to him. He was not wanting that at all. And sadly for the Springboks, they couldn't take advantage of that opportunity. But they do have a big scrum here. And this match says, Dunga, he feels that England have been careless. Scrums and penalties being given out left, right and centre. They are. I think they're under pressure. And they're not expecting this probably expansive game that the Springboks are throwing at them. They're not getting that dominance in the set piece. They're not winning their line out. The Springboks are controlling the scrum as they've done it again. And they're going to get a penalty. Straight arm it is. And it's picked up from Dane Vermeulen. Advantage on the side. Now get it wide. Give it to Mapipi. Give it to the boys out the back. Give it to Leroux. Let those boys fly. Let them try have a go. Khaleesi does instead. He goes one pass to the left. To Clark again. Mostert goes steep. Now they look to use him in a width. It's a double cutout pass to Mapipi. And I think it was forward. An advantage on the side of the Springboks. Let's slow it down again, South Africa. Let's take the 3. Give the lead back. It is a penalty for the scrum. This is a very good scrum. The Springboks really are dominating the set piece, especially the scrum. Every time it packs down, they are dominating. Is it no Sinclair? Is it because it's Dan Cole's? Dan Cole that's on. I mean, you can only but think that that is having a big influence in this game. The penalty count, England conceding twice as much. And no surprise here, we are getting Andre Pollard lining up his 3rd penalty goal. Dane Vermeulen did very well off that scrum, picked it up, charged forward. And that momentum on the side of the Springboks. Pollard will be ruining their first missed penalty. But he can make amends here. This is a bit tougher. It's way out on the right-hand side, about 10 from touch. Pollard. That's more like it. He makes it over. And it's 2 from 3 for Pollard. And like Adunga says in the chat, it is 6 points to 3. The Springboks getting things done at the moment. They reinstate their 3-point lead. And the Springbok fans in the crowd go wild. Why not so? It's a game of threes at the moment. As though it goes. England kicking off again. And Billy Leroux at the back. He loses the first and runs into traffic in the second. George takes a hit up there with Courtney Laws on his shoulder. De Klerk looking to box kick. He's gone for a bit of a scamper there before getting the kick away. And it's a good one as well. That is a good kick from Faf de Klerk. Just over the sideline. Just up to halfway. And again, puts pressure back on that set piece, back on that area of the game where South Africa are having a real old battle here to put the English under pressure. They can keep this up. They really could change and control this game in their favour for the full 80 minutes. Itoje, nowhere near as effective as he was a week ago. And the whole English pack, really not that fit. That is too easy. Straight to the front, flat as ever. And England take the ball straight from the line out without even jumping. They charge it out into midfield and now it's a kick. Into the corner. Oh, it's out in the full! Big mistake from George Ford looking to put the Springboks back in their own 22. He's overcooked it. And back it goes to the English half. Very, very, very big mistake from Ford. That speedy defence is proving to be a factor. Oh, it's out. It's out in the full. I don't know why watching a replay. You can pretty much tell from full speed, way up in the stands, that was out in the full. And we're getting another stoppage here. We've got another injury. Goodness gracious me, it's injury city now. It's a Beth who's gone down. Which is really interesting because both second rows starting now for the Springboks seem to have injured their shoulders. But luckily for them, they've got Snyman and Muster on the bench. So 2 second rows ready to replace. Of course, the versatility of those guys will go the full 80 minutes, of course. But how big their power coming off late in the game is going to be nullified. Of course, Manami's only off for an HIA. Lutiaga's gone. There was a big shoulder injury. Itzabeth looks like he's all right. But Snyman would have been ready to go. Marks throws, and it is Itzabeth who proves his fitness by taking the line out down, and it mauls away. Gracie says still not see Tuolangi touch the ball yet. You're dead right, he's had a couple of early hit-ups, but since then, nothing going his way. Here come the Springboks. De Klerk goes away to Delendi, who takes up another hit-up as he's doing all competition along. Here's the Toy. Good defence on the Toy there. And that is Underhill. The 2 number 7s going head-to-head in battle. Oh, there's a pass. I was about to say, amazing to see a pass from Damien Delendi, but the Kanyu arm spills the ball, and now Faf de Klerk slaps him in the face almost as Ben Youngs tries to pass it away. Underhill, good hit. You did right. That was a big cruncher as well. And Peter Steph, the Toy, stops him in his tracks, drives him backwards. And that is the way to get yourselves in the momentum to get the ball. The Toy was at a pretty much standing start. Look at what Underhill hit him like. He hit him low, right around the waist, and got under those legs, controlled his momentum. And we've got another injured player, my goodness me. As Taylor looks like has kicked that one to touch, and it's gone just short of the 22. Faf de Klerk has just slapped the arm of Ben Youngs just to completely disrupt the play. Got a message. Flip Mithi. Thanks for the subscribe, good sir. There you go. Anyone who subscribes to get themselves a nice little personalised message up here in the corner somewhere, and it'll come up in chat as well. So woohoo! Good on you. Marco Vunipola now. He's getting a bit of attention on the sidelines, but looks like he'll be okay to carry on. My time is way out once again. Let's get that right. We're pretty much half an hour in as England sit their line up and charging forward there was Malcolm Marks out of the line. Really disrupt that set-piece opportunity for England. Here is a run from Billy Vunipola, gets it away to George, and George gets in a tussle with Mostert. As the two wrestle on the ground. Youngs does not get it. Billy takes it up and through the middle goes Sam Underhill. Into the 22 England now. Big chance to put points on the board. It's a run from Curry. He eludes one defender but takes 2 or 3 more to put him to ground. Youngs away to Vunipola. Marco this time. Running straight, Atolje picks up, and this time Detoy repays the favour to an English opposition as Atolje goes backwards in the tackle of the Springboks open side flanker. Here's a good run here from Tuolangi. Like you said, Manu got a touch. That's right, and it was a good touch as well from the outside centre. England now, 8 metres short. Away to Billy Vunipola. Tries to step the charging run. He's got Marco at his side, but he decides he just sets it down as Vermeulen's trying to hook it back with his foot. Doesn't succeed. Curry charges straight at the beast from Tawera. Youngs goes short side. Laws sets back towards traffic. And with his locking partner Atolje at his side, takes it to ground. Now, again, 7 out. Goes to Marco Vunipola. He drives straight at Tendai and Tawera. Youngs, slow ball. Billy Vunipola gets over that 5-metre line. Mostert takes him down. Quick recycle ball. Underhill. Just a metre short. Advantage to England as well. No rolling away in the tackle. Youngs wants it. Cole wants it. Cole's in a tussle. Youngs gets it back. Youngs decides to go the other way. Youngs sweeps out a 1. Victor Clark goes flying, his blonde locks going everywhere. Now they use the backs. Ford stepping. Laws gets a pass away from him. A deft little offload there from Ford. Youngs again goes to Curry. Back to Marco Vunipola. Big if they score. This is huge if they can score a try. Youngs, Billy gets the ball. Vunipola. Oh, big tackle. Mostert Marks. Put him on the ground. That is a brutal hit. I think one of them looks like they're a bit injured as well. 2 players, 1 Englishman and 1 Springbok on the floor as they come wide to the left side. Now back to Marco Vunipola. 2 players down. Are they back up? Billy getting the flat ball. Vermeulen holds him down and holds him out. Great tackle. Dane Vermeulen. Atolje having a go. Pick and go close. He's held up. Cole has a stab. Just shot as well. Who's going to get this? Can South Africa survive? Atolje waits. No, it's Youngs who's digging. Billy is right there, and he's pushed back again. Mahobra doing a brilliant job. Now the backs. Ford away to Daly. Huge pass to Watson. 1-on-1 tackle with Filaru, and Watson is put down. Faf de Klerk comes over the top. They try to put the ball in touch. Great defence again. Filaru gets quickly up over Farrell, and they lose 20 metres just like that. Struggling to hang on now. Daly reaching for the ball. Daly goes to Laws. Oh, big defence from Delendi. This is brutal from the Springboks. And that's his advantage. Faf de Klerk going early. And now Ford with a chance to throw their arms wide. And Farrell goes out to May. And May tries to break, gets the offload away to who else but Manu Tuolangi, the man we've spoken on already about. Back in the 22 they go. Youngs use the width this time. Ford, Farrell, running deep as Daly, looking to beat his man. That's a great pick. Great defence. Great defence, Springboks. Daly, countless times, trying to beat his man on the outside. He can't do it. 1-on-1 tackles are getting dominated by the Springboks. And when you can't create an overlap like that, when you can't draw those defenders in from another player, you can't draw the space. That was an outstanding passage. 25 phases Gracie said, I was too busy watching the action to even look at the phases there. That was brilliant. 1 metre out, time after time after time after time. They keep them out. And we are almost done with the first half, and we are getting a shot at goal. Take a breath, everyone. Have a drink. Goodness me. Absolutely amazing little stanza of grand final rugby. The Dogger says last weekend versus Wales, South Africa did the same. About 15 phases at the 5 metre line against the Welsh. Yep, they did. They did exactly that. And that is going to be a telling tale at full time. That defensive work like that, Farrell won't miss this. And he does not. 2 from 2. And scores are back. Tied up as we head towards half time. It is South Africa 6, England 6. Whew, what a game this has been. Didn't think we'd see many 7-pointers, unfortunately. And to be fair, if anyone's going to score it so far from this, it looks like the Springboks by far the better attacking side with width. The forwards couldn't do it for England, and they're going to have to settle for just a 3. Pollard kicks off deep into the English 22, and it's fielded down there by Billy Vunipola, who tries to run away, but a good tackle chasing hard. The Springboks defence, very, very good. Ben Young's box kicks, and he's gone high, just short of halfway. Vermeulen is back there. Oh, Vermeulen gets rid of one, and it was a Tolje who he just smashes out of the way. Now de Klerk goes to Mostert, and he's not really too many ideas what to do with that ball with all that space. He just runs straight. Here's Pollard, looks to the heavens, goes high for Mapimpi. Makazula Mapimpi there, wide looking, gets in a tussle with Daly and rips it away. Big, big play there from Pollard and Mapimpi. Mostert, oh, it's a Beth, gets smashed by another good Atolje tackle. The defence switching for England now. The wingers coming up. Very slow ball. Faf is methodical at his play. Here's Leroux up in the line. Pollard running. Beautiful work from Andre Pollard. And there, just getting up from the ball is picked up from Billy Vunipola. That was lucky by England. Oh, it's come back. It's come back to the Springboks. Amazing stuff. It's fired out wide. Now the chance. Dan Indy passes. This time Khaleesi catches. And it's there for Mapimpi. And another injury, says Hidonga. Goodness me, not too many. What's going on here? We got a stoppage. And we got a penalty. Are we going to see another shot at 3? Why not? Why not? It's 40 metres out, but this is another chance. So, looks like Curry was one penalised, and from the side, sounded like the call. And now Vermeulen is holding his shoulder. Goodness gracious me, how many players have to get broken here? This was brilliant from Pollard. He is a game breaker. And if he just could have found that ball to Detoy, it was game on. And Billy Vunipola, I mean, well played. He was just right there, right man at the right time. Vermeulen, great steal. Oh, Dane Vermeulen is having a scorcher of a game. Absolutely outstanding from Dane Vermeulen, the veteran, the big man. 50 metres of a kick for Pollard. He is a rocker man. He can hit these. There's no question of distance here. No question at all of distance for Pollard. But as we've already seen from his first attempt at goal, the question is accuracy. He's 2 from 3. Can he tee over his third shot at goal? Donga, he's ahead of us and he's saying it's over. What a kick, he says. Well, let's see for ourselves. 6-6 is the score. Pollard looks, steps, 1, 2, 3, bang, curls around from the right-hand side. That is a pearler. A beautiful kick from Andre Pollard. And as the Donga says, that is a successful kick at goal. 9 points to 6. We had the lead back with the Springboks, who have not trailed this game yet. And a big thanks for subscribing for Muhammad Ahmed. Thanks for coming by, Muhammad. Hope you're enjoying the stream, good sir. Back underway we go. We are just over a minute away from kickoff, so from half time, I should say, is another great carry. Straight off the kickoff, the Springboks gain 10-15 metres straight away. Here is de Klerk. He doesn't want to kick. He gives to Mostert instead. And Franco Mostert sits it up. Classy says they need half-time fast. Yet he needs to talk to them, he says. England, they're still in this game. They're not out of this game. But yes, you're right. They're nowhere near the team we saw last week. Faf picks it up and fires a bullet ball wide. Now, here's Delindi. Will he pass? He does again. Lecanyo arm. Oh, beautiful from arm. Ship over the top. Big chase. Oh, it's knocked on from Daly. Brilliant work. Absolutely fantastic from Lecanyo arm. He's not had many chances here. But how about this ball from Faf de Klerk and the ability Delindi can pass? Yes, he can. Players were taken out. Put the tackle in, put the chip in, I should say, and Daly. Ooh, Daly, yes, that's a knock on. That's a knock on. Nations from South Africa supporting your boys, I hope. Nation, there goes the buzzer. 40 minutes now. It's not a buzzer, there goes the gong. I don't even have a gong. I don't even have anything like a gong, but I can make a gong. Unfortunately. But there is half time, and it is scrum advantage to the Springboks. Half time is here. English scrum has given up, says Glassy. Yes, boys, says Tiger. Oh, everyone's getting on involved now. The Springboks starting to get a bit of momentum, starting to get a bit of control. If they can go to half time, 12-6 up, that'll be it. Oh, that is a great scrum. You guys are not wrong at all. Brilliant scrum by the Springboks. They get it out. Delindi, away to arm. Those two know now. Their combination is working. Delindi's passing, and it is magical. Mostert squirts it out, and Pollard's lost the ball. And we will go back for the scrum penalty. Still not half-time. It's still not half-time. The scrum. And I like what Garcias is doing. He's actually looking at the scrum like he knows what he's refereeing. The English scrum, you're right, Adonga is getting dominated. It is getting absolutely peppered. And there you go. 3-0, scrum penalties. You're not wrong. 9 points to 6. And the penalty. Tiger, I'm watching on Spark Sport, which is a platform that has got the rights to the Rugby World Cup here in New Zealand. So that's where I'm watching it. Which is pretty much like Sky, but they brought the rights instead of Sky. So it's all kind of wonderful here in New Zealand. We've got all sorts of different platforms. Andre Pollard is lining up his 5th penalty goal. He's got 3 out of 4. This one could make it a brilliant lead for the Springboks. It's swirling. It's over. 4 out of 5. Half-time it is. And the Springboks fans are elated in the crowd. It is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant game so far. 12 points to 6. South Africa over England at half-time in the Rugby World Cup final. Andres, his heart can't take it. It is close. It is tight. Will anyone score a try? That is $1 million question. I'm glad the bronze final had tries because this one, we knew it was going to be tight. We knew it was going to be like this. And these two sides have not disappointed. It is half-time. Let's show the time there. Springbok support's coming out. Go South Africa, great defence. Who do I want to win the World Cup? My pick is the Springboks to win. Zandre, that is my pick. I picked them to win by 3. And the way the scoreline's going, I don't think I'm going to be too far off as well. It has been a brilliant first half of arm wrestle rugby, but really not what I thought or not how I thought this game was going to go, because we've really seen the Springboks happy to chance their arm. They're happy to go wide, happy to use those outside backs. Delendi is passing. What? Delendi is passing? What is going on? That is what we've been all about here. Passes, sticking, Lacagnuam getting some ball, Colby getting out there, Faf de Klerk is in control. And if we talk about England, who do we talk about? I mean, Sinclair went off early with an injury. No one's really, from the English side of things, taking control of this game. Eto'o's tried to get a physical, but he's been matched and he's been hammered just as much as he's hammered himself. So this is really, like we said in the preview, go check out the website, it was published about 12 hours ago, that England will be matched in the forwards by the Springboks. And if they're matched, they won't get that ascendancy, they won't get that go forward ball, they won't get that ability to go forward and to control the game. The Springboks are dominating the scrum, absolutely killing the scrum. And that is a big, big way of how this game has gone in the opening 40 minutes. What do you guys think about the game so far? Let us know in the chat what you guys think about it at half time. And looks like we're getting an incoming call here from Mr. Paul. What again? He's back. How are you going, good sir? Let's get you nicely on the right sort of thing. Let's get you there. Let's get rid of the chat. Swing you over, Paul. Welcome back. Half time, 12-6. How's it been as an English fan? I'm loving it.
How to lose friends very, very quickly. Jeez. That's been tough. You were right about scoring a 3. So clearly, that early try I was talking about didn't come. I think that partly was down to the South Africa got the kickoff rather than England kicking off. We did talk about that last week, that if you want to kick off against England, get them in their own and have the territory early rather than them have that. Wow, we've lost a few players, haven't we? It's just been a tough old game. Sinclair's gone, and Bambi's gone, De Jager's gone. Jeez, it's just it's a casualty ward out there.
Yeah, it is. A big casualty ward. Got to swing up. Just swallowed my water down the wrong way. I'm all good.
See?
It has been a lot of injuries, but the bench of the Springboks really is coming really right exactly how they want it, isn't it? It's becoming a telling tale as this game is on. They've got all that depth, and yet they're going to have Dan Cole on the English side of thing, playing 77 minutes. That's going to hurt them. Losing a prop that early is tough. And the way the scrum's going, this is it's even tougher. This is going to be a long old game for England. Just don't knock the ball on, please. Just keep hold of the bloody thing. It's got to be the lesson. Elliot Daly is going to be smacked around the head by his forwards for knocking on there at the death, so that it's 6-12, and that plus also the fact that England are just not. They're not making many meters with ball in hand. If you look at the stats, I think it's England have made more runs, but have made like a third or a half of the number of meters that South Africa have, and that's been a big thing. So yes, those big bodies of those the South African forwards are telling. England aren't getting the tackles in early enough, and they aren't driving the players back like they were against New Zealand, and England aren't getting over the gain line when they've got the ball, and that's just causing them massive amounts of problems. Like we talked about in the preview, or like I wrote in the preview, this South African pack is not going to be bullied like the All Black pack was. This is a team that dominates their game around getting that control in the forwards, and they've done that. They've got the go forward. Like you say, Eto'o, he's a big guy. He's trying. I can see he's a guy that's really trying to enforce himself on the game, but he's been matched. I mean, Peter Seftotoy is matching him hit for hit. All those guys aren't getting that dominance that they got against the All Blacks. And we've got a comment or a question in the chat here from a Dunga who says South Africa have made twice as many tackles in England. What do we think of that? I mean, that's no surprise because England really have been trying to enforce themselves. The South Africa shutting them down in that period where they were right on the line. 5 minutes out for 25 phases, I think it was. Changing point, a turning point in this match, hasn't it been?
Yeah, and that got England back up to being 6-all. But I think, well, we'll talk about all of that sort of stuff, and that is obviously is bearing effect. But England's error rate has been appalling in this game. Like we've had the kick out on the full, we've had Ben Youngs throwing the ball into touch. We've had there was another one as well that was just a blatant. Billy Vinipola gets off the back of the pack and just passes the ball onto the floor. That error rate is what's really hurting England. I think that's the key thing is that's not really unforced errors because it's a pressure game, pressure selling, but those errors are really hurting and stopping England from getting any continuity. And then if they're not getting continuity, they can't get they're not going to get go forward ball, and they need to get that continuity to get that go forward ball, and then they can spin it wide and do some damage. But that's been the big problem here tonight has been that and you think about it, South Africa have got two centres who can defend. Am made a nice little break there, but on the whole, Dundee and Am don't really. They're not that dangerous. They're big. They're going to run at you. You just have to tackle them. But that means they're not finding that chink that they found with Mwanga, who was defending out wide. To inject Daly, to inject May, to inject Watson into the game, and the back three really haven't done much. Haven't been able to enforce themselves in this game, and England need those back three and that pace to really make a difference.
And Damien Dialendi, he's passing the ball. It's a miracle, isn't it? He's actually passed the ball about 3 or 4 times too. Lakanyuam got the pass from it. It's a miracle. It's something we've never seen before. But one-on-one tackles, I think, has been the big thing. When England had decided that the forwards aren't working, we've got to use the backs. Anthony Watson trying to get outside his man. Daly we've seen trying to get outside his man. Those tackles are just being hit. But Faf de Klerk, he is controlling this game. He is the general. He's like Stacey Jones, if anyone followed League back in the 90s. The little general, he controls the game. He's controlling it defensively. He's controlling it attackingly. It's all about Faf, isn't it?
Well, okay, maybe it is. I think I think it has been rock solid. Now, whether it's down to him or whether it's down to, I think it's team effort. The forwards have stopped England's forwards in the game line, and the outside backs are making their tackles, as you say, both tackles. So, both sides are making their tackles. We're not seeing many missed tackles in this game. Maybe, just maybe, and here I am clutching at straws as an Englishman, those extra tackles will see the South African team tire out. But I'm not convinced because it's just, it does help England that South Africa lost 2 players early. That was on the 20-minute mark. So, Diego and Bambi would not expect to have gone off until about the 50 minutes. So it's an extra half hour of play for Mostert and for Malcolm Marx to have to play. So maybe, just maybe. But as I say, I'm not convinced. South Africa got the upper hand, and they look like they're going to grind this one out, for my mind.
How's the confidence? You were pretty bubbly at the start. You were pretty confident. You felt comfortable.
Oh no, it's all gone. All drained away. Yeah, absolutely not. It's all gone. Yeah, well done, Springboks. You've got this one in the bag, unless you tire out, basically. So anyway, I'm going to get some food, some more
English.
beer.
Old school English. That is completely old school. Now, thanks for coming by, Paul. It's been a good chat. Cheers, buddy. We'll catch up with you later. Oh, goodness gracious me. Old school. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get the right thing out here. Old school English thoughts. Goodness me, by Paul. Oh, I can't believe he thought that. All the confidence in the world at the start of the game. And now he's got none at all. He's pretty much conceding defeat while his team's only behind by 6 points. That is quite a surprise. Quite a surprise indeed. That England are, for English fans, are throwing it in already. Can you win the World Cup with a failing set piece? Says Shardin Z. Honestly, at this rate, no. Not when you're dropping the ball this much. Pretty much, you can't afford to lose the ball. If you're giving away a penalty from every scrum you sit down, you're really just going to give away points constantly. South Africa are going to keep kicking. And the problem for the English is the man called Frans Steyn, who's going to come off the bench later on. And if you're on Twitter, you might have seen earlier he was smacking them from over halfway with probably 10 or 12 metres to spare. This guy can really destroy a penalty kick. Xavier says Faf needs to box kick more. Well, this time, Xavier, I probably agree with you because they haven't actually, he hasn't actually box kicked that much. It's actually been quite an open, attacking sort of game plan from the Springboks, which has been pretty good to see, pretty entertaining. But sadly, we've not seen either side put the ball over the white line. It's been entertaining. It's been a brilliant first half of Rugby World Cup action for the grand final of the competition. What do you guys thought about the match so far? Let us know in the chat there, and we will have a bit of chat, discussion about your guys' thoughts on the game. Donga's got a quick question. Will you be continuing with the subscriber series? Yes, subscriber series will be coming back. Hopefully, sign-ups will be this coming week. They were supposed to be this week just gone, but due to other things having to happen and things to do with the Rugby World Cup, we've knocked that back. I've knocked that back to next week. So we'll be having sign-ups next week. Stay tuned to the channel, Donga, and you can sign up there or keep a player from previous subscriber series. But it will be coming back. It will still be on Rugby Challenge 3 because 4 won't be out on PC for a few months after it releases anyway. So we will have to play this one out. Mods on our side in Rugby Challenge 3 as well. We've got plenty of cool videos coming up on the channel as well for those guys who like the Gaming Rugby 20. The guys at Eco were kind enough to send me a code for that, so I've got a video coming out on that this week as well. And also, some more Rugby Champions. You may have seen that on the channel yesterday. Video of today's matchup, the grand final. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. I played through the tournament, but just showed the final of what I thought was going to happen in that game as well. So that was quite an entertaining little video. Rugby Champions is an awesome gameplay game. We can actually see a lot different compared to the standard, I guess, normal rugby games these days. So go check out Rugby Champions if you haven't seen it. Go check out the video as well. It's a pretty cool little video. And hopefully, depending on how long the Rugby 20 beta goes for, we'll hopefully do a stream on that this week as well later on in the week. Now that the World Cup's all over, I don't need to save my voice for the live streams on the weekend, so we can dig into some more gaming stuff because we've got Rugby 20, of course, in the beta at the moment, and then of course Rugby Challenge 4 is coming out, I think, next month, isn't it? It's not far away. We have to double check up on that one, but hopefully some big news on that coming very, very soon as well on Rugby Challenge 4. That's a bit gaming out of the way completely as we go through half-time here in the Rugby World Cup Grand Final. It has been an intense game, an exciting game, a battle between two heavyweight packs, but there's one which is a little bit more heavier than the other at the half-time break. It is the Springboks over England, 12 points to 6 at half-time here in Japan for the World Cup Final. The Springboks looking to repeat 2007 and become 3-time Rugby World Cup champions, and that would equal what the All Blacks have done in the last, what's it been, 32 years? No, hang on, 87, 97, 2007. Jesus, that's a long time, isn't it? Near on 40 years it's been for the Rugby World Cup. A lot of champions. Here we go. It's back underway quickly. We've just come back from ads and straight into the game. England kicking off and down to Andre Pollard, who has kicked that not quite into touch. And back there is Elliot Daly, and goodness me, normally we get a little bit of build-up to the second half kicking off, but nothing at all here as mark is taken by Andre Pollard, and I'm not even sure what's going on here. That's ridiculous. What a start. It's like the game just flicks back to the game, and then it's like, hello, second half is kicking off. Bullfire, there we go. So the mark is taken from Pollard, and he's kicked this away of the free kick, and he's gone deep over halfway. And there is a view of Kyle Sinclair, who's made his way back out onto the bench for England. He is not going to play any further parts, quite obviously, in this game. As we get the game back underway, England line out just inside their own half, and here is Tuolangi with a rare chance and a run from him. and say, oh, looks use the backs and a huge tackle on George Ford as he somehow got the pass away to Curry. Daly's deep. Oh, Daly's kick's being charged. It's picked up by England. They forward back to Ford, and here now is a big run from Marco Vunipola. Youngs. Oh, decoy. This is big defence from South Africa. Another player wiped out. Johnny May's got a little offload away, and he slips his way up towards halfway. The Springboks are coming fast, and they are coming hard. And they are destroying this pretty linear attack by England. Now, Ford goes high. And waiting at the back is Vinny LaRue, who just drops straight to the deck. And two Englishmen fly over the top of him. Here is de Klerk. Box kicks. There you go, Xavier. More box kicks from Fuff. Colby's chasing. And Daly's back there. He spirals a pass back in the centre field and goes to May. Johnny May looks to get away, but Lacanyo arm slaps him to the ground and quick tackles. Waiting for it is Youngs again. Atolje goes second deep. Oh, Ford is absolutely hammered again, but England have fired it out wide. Mpimpy works anew on Curry, who somehow gets it out the back of the hand to Watson. And South Africa defend well, but they are up to halfway now, England. Again, another very rushed defence straight up on the first receiver for England. They have spotted something that is proving to be a big difference maker early in the second half. As Underhill charges way over halfway, cutting off the angles now brilliantly. His arm and Daly can't get away. And he is charged down. Colby's really putting in hard work. He's made about 3 or 4 tackles already in the stanza. Ashley says England need more points. You're not wrong. But to be fair, so do South Africa, because this is far from over as a backhand pass from Jamie George looking for Watson. Rumbles it in to a touch. As Tom Curry's getting a bit of a punch up here with who else? 3 guesses who. You don't need 3 because it's bloody Fluff de Klerk. It's always Fluff de Klerk. Big tackles here. I tell you what, England are getting done to what they did last week to the All Blacks. It is quite satisfying as a Southern Hemisphere fan, I guess you could say, that we are seeing some brilliant work back in the face of what was such a dominant England last week. And this goes to show just how good South Africa is, because South Africa have adapted. They've watched last week and they've gone, right, we have to combat this. And to be fair, 43, 44 minutes in, they've done that. Like you guys say, Grassy, in the chat, the Ginger Beast is now on. Stephen Kitshoff and Vincent Kosh is coming on as well. Maholbra and Tawera making their way off. Frans Maholbra's been brilliant in this game. And it really is destroying their momentum, killing them brilliantly in the set piece. And a knock on does set us down to what we talked about just before, a scrum. Faf de Klerk to feed. And there's plenty more to come from this English pack. New props on. And of course, there's a whole new front row to what started because Marks is on. And have a look at this! Oh, South Africa! Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant! Stephen Kitshoff! What a player! Just come on the field, you know. I'll just come on for a scrum, eh? Bang! Just destroyed it. How is this game even close with set-piece destruction like this from the Springboks? And Rossi is cool as a cucumber. I think England need to change. England, they need to bring on something else. Cole isn't working. Vunipola not working. They bring on Marla. They bring on Calvin Dickey in the middle. They got to bring on something. Something's got to change. Because we've got a shot at goal from Pollard being lined up right now. His 6th shot at goal. His 6th penalty attempt. 45 minutes in. Almost 46. Now he's almost at halfway. 15 in from touch. Pollard slaps it. That is beautiful. And he gets some to spare. Another 5 minutes. Brilliant work from the Springboks. 5 out of 6. Pollard lights it up. 15 points to 6. That is a super important kick because now that 7-point difference is gone. Absolutely gone. And the Springbok fans are elated. Absolutely elated. 15-6, the lead is 9. And an easy take for Vermeulen at the back. And there we go. Marla's on. We just talked about it. Marco Vunipola off and Joe Marla coming on the loose head. Faf de Klerk, box kicks. That's probably his worst one of the night. It's gone fairly straight up and a great take from Johnny May. Excellent work from the left winger. Now England with a chance. As Cruz is on the field as well. So more changes for the English. Courtney Laws has made his way off. Flat pass and Billy Vunipola. We don't need to say Billy now because it's Vunipola. There's only one left. Youngs. Forward. Gives it away to George. George has another go. Oh, 3 men waiting for the ball. There's no continuity in this for England because they're all got no clue what's going on. Peter stepped to toy. He's just held up 3 England defenders, or attackers I should say. Peter stepped to toy. That is outstanding again. Big plays win big games, and Peter stepped to toy has just made one. Tom Curry stepping into dead endy. And Peter stepped to toy, who hold him up. He has support from Cruz, support from Atolje, support from George. No matter. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. From Detoy and Delendi. The power. Insane power. From those two in the Springboks. Dear me. Another scrum. Another penalty. Jacobs getting into support. Go Bork, he says. Ashley says England need to step up their game because the Springboks are bringing the game to England. You are not wrong about that. Marla is on. Same scrum results, says Glassy. If not even worse. If not even worse. Kitchoff somehow gets away with that one. You've got to give it to the Japanese. It's easy to forget that this game is in Japan. It's easy for the World Cup to overwhelm the situation. But this Japanese crowd, just fantastic. And you've got to take a moment, we should have at the start, to just give those guys some credit. The Japanese fans, the Japanese attendance, just everyone involved in this World Cup. It has been absolutely brilliant. And I probably use that sort of those words and those ways of describing things probably a little bit too lightly about how good this World Cup has been. Big stadiums, 20, 30, 40, 70,000 people, all full. And that is a joy to behold. Line out comes in from Etzebeth, and it's a knock on, is it? No. It's a scrum feed, which, like you guys saying in the chat, is going to be irrelevant. England getting all excited, but to be fair, they won't want that to happen. It was a maul and Atolje straight through the middle. It's great work. Maro Atolje is a lone wolf here. He really is a lone wolf. He's the only Englishman who's really putting up his hand and putting in a performance. No one else is really stepping up to the mark. They need more Atoljes. Slade on for Ford. And there's the change. That is a big change. So that will, yes, like Adonga says, will move Farrell into 10. And Tuolangi to 12. And Slade to outside centre and 13. A bit of a change of the dimensions of the side. Which they need, to be fair, England. They need something. And they need it drastically fast as well. Youngs are still on. I mean, how much do you trust Ben Spencer? Any English fans out there that watch a lot of the Premiership or Northern Hemisphere Rugby, what is Ben Spencer like that? It's a, wow! Where's that come from? Welcome to the game, England pack. Wow-wee. Tell you what, Grassy, that was something else. Marco Vunipola looks on and goes, Why couldn't we do that when I was on the field? So it was a bit of a slip there on this short side, and it kind of split the Springboks. That was brilliant. That was very good by England. Can they do it again and again and again? That's the big question. And the English fans, once again, stepping it up. Speechless, Dunga. Yeah. They needed that, you're right. And they're lining up now a penalty. Their first of the second half. And Farrell should be lining this one up. He is indeed. And you can't afford to miss any of these. 46 out. Just inside the Springboks half. And it is again. Probably just over 15 in from the right hand upright. For the right hand touchline. Hasn't missed one tonight. Owen Farrell. Death Kid Springboks for the win. We are getting our way there. Death Kid, we are getting our way there. Here's Farrell for points for England. That is good. And again, had a bit of a whisker in the end as well. A little bit more if he needed it. 15-9. This game is far from over. Far from over, I tell you that much. 15-9 the score. I mean, we might as well get rid of the try category here because there's not going to be any of those. Back underway we go. Pollard kicking down just short of the 22, and Itoje is put on his back, and they're claiming he's taken out in the air. Youngs is waiting for the ball. He's going to box kick again. Up it goes towards halfway, just over halfway. Waiting is Vermeulen again. And he's taken on the halfway line, just in from the right-hand touchline. Kitshoff. Whoa, that is a clash. To Clark, to LaRue. LaRue! Ho, ho, ho! LaRue has given a body slam. And if you call that a bad tackle, I just seen your comment there, Grassy. Goodness gracious. Billy LaRue was just picked up and deposited. But England have done well. Garcias is letting this go. Now it's kick long from Farrell. Waiting back there is again Pollard. Oh, Pollard slips. Just about done enough. Two slips. And over him is Curry. This is a penalty. It is a big penalty, England. Game-changing moment right there. Tom Curry. Fired up are the English fans, and why the hell not? Dunga, man, he says, South Africa seem to have broken down. Pollard went once, Pollard went twice. And when he slipped, he tried to get up, but over the ball was Curry, and there was no moving those legs. Gotta love what he can do. These English back rows have been largely unemployed. And Pollard knows maybe he should have kicked it. Daniel, come on, Red Rose, he says. Death Kid, thanks very much, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the commentary. The English fans are singing in full voice here. And so we're going to see another shot at goal. Pollard's looking around. We are, yes, lining up. Another penalty goal for Owen Farrell. Now his fourth to make it 15-12 and really back on a close game. That 9-point lead has just evaporated. Farrell. Jones looks nervous. He hasn't sat down all game long. Farrell. Silence. You gotta love these Japanese people. The hush. You could hear someone sneeze almost. Farrell steps up. Big kick, 40 away again. This time it holds on the right and upright, and it's away. Man, half a metre wide, 3 out of 4, and as Adonga says, Owen has missed. Pollard will be going, whoo, because not only did his penalty or his carry result in the penalty, but now it is one miss apiece. So we can't look back and go, well, if Pollard hit all his penalties, South Africa will run. Here's Beef. Oh, what a short pass to Delindy. He trudges over halfway. Springboks on the attack. Front foot ball as well for Mostert. Quick ball in and out. Slowly. Fifth to Clark. He slows it down. He decides where to go. Now Vinny LaRue gets a flat kick away. It'll get the end on. It's running as Mapimpi. Look out, Daly. Here's Mapimpi, but it's a good play. Oh, no, it's not. Good play from Daly to get in position, but the kick is a shocker. The kick is a terrible one. Knocked on from Vunipola anyway, and out the back of the hand to Delindy. Gotta love a piece of that from the big man. And this kick off the left boot from LaRue. Set up, 10 out from their own line, and Daly didn't really get anywhere near that. It was a shocker. It was terrible. A quick line out. Straight into the midfield it goes, and Delindy, another run from him. De Klerk. Wow, look at this. Look at this from South Africa. They've set up a maul. And they've got advantage as well. That is a champion World Cup final play. I've seen nothing like it. Huge pass wide to Colby. Let's dance, he says. And he dances past Daly. And Johnny May takes him into touch. They'll go back for the penalty. And this is another 3 points. Another chance for Springboks. But what a play. Let's break it down here. Off the ruck, it went to a Springbok forward who had about 6 of his pack, if not all 7 of them, right behind him. It's a beat at the front of the line out. They weren't even ready, England. That was an easy win. Now let's take a look. We won't get to see it. The big pass wide from Pollard, having a go out to Colby. Have a go, little man, he says. He does not too badly as well. High tackle from Johnny May, to be fair. But that setup for the maul was spectacular. You've got to love that work. And that kind of play that we've talked about all pool stage, that these top sides save plays, they save tactics, they save something special for that game, for that time that they need it, which is now, right now. Pollard, 7th kick of the night, and he makes it a 6th successful one as well, right in front for Pollard. And now, the lead is back up to 9. 18 points to 9 is the scoreboard. And Tonga, it's penalty city at the moment, isn't it? 57 gone, 58 gone. It's underway it goes again. Vermeulen takes it beautifully. And penalty England. We were seeing hits towards the head there from Garcias, but it did look a bit high. And now we've got a penalty back the other way. Springboks, Malcolm Marks coming in from the side is the call. This did look high on Vermeulen. Oh, that is a great tackle at right in the guts, but no, it wasn't high at all. I've completely misread that one. Ted Cole has given Malcolm Marks a massive crack on the back. And Khaleesi's given Marks a little bit of an instruction. You've got to go round the back into the gates, mate. You know, where the gate is. You've got to do that. Farrell lining up. Kick number 5. Oh my goodness me, it is absolutely raining penalties as we got changes. Luke Cowan-Dickey looking like he's ready to come on, and Mark Wilson probably playing his biggest stanza of the World Cup so far as well when he gets about 20 minutes or so. Farrell looking for kick number 4. This one's much easier. For about 17 in from the left-hand touchline, just inside the 22, so about 20 metres out. And Farrell takes that step up, strikes it on the left-hand upright, it straightens and goes over. 18 points to 12 is now the score. Another penalty, I should say, from Owen Farrell. That was a tight kick, Tonga. That was a very tight kick, right on the left-hand uprights. And we have a whole host of changes now. Cowan-Dickey on for Jamie George. And Ebenezer Beth coming off for Wilson's on for Underhill. Underhill probably hasn't had his best game. And that's a great chase on the kickoff from Colby. Vunipola gets the ball and he gets a little Colby with him as well. RG Simon on the field as well for the Springboks. It's a box kick from Ben Youngs. Goes up for Vermeulen. Great take for Vermeulen, but he is swamped into touch straight away. A very good box kick. Very, very good box kick from Youngs. Close to the sideline. Springboks had to commit. And Johnny May was all over him like an oily rag. And they told Jay Wilson, come and help out. And not Jamie George, Luke Cowan-Dickie as well getting involved. Speaking of Cowan-Dickie, he is on the field. And he's gone just to the front. Cruz. Here's Youngs. He's going to box kick again. And really with no support around him to shut that down. Here's Colby. Runs away. Steps. Jinx. Drives. And almost gets away from May. Faf de Klerk has it. He puts it away to Peter Steph de Toy. Oh, it's trouble here. Whose ball's that? The referee has said that's anyone's ball, but he's not allowed it to go. Curry said to get his hands off it. De Klerk. Box kicks again. High. This is what we knew it was going to be. We knew this was going to be a battle as Johnny May is wrapped up. Surely Vermeulen's got that. No, he hasn't quite. England survive. A very tough call there. Vermeulen was in great position early. Now they're just inside their own half England. They go away to Farrell, who gives to Tuolangi. Seen not enough from him, like you guys have said in the chat. Youngs waits to Farrell again. Goes high, very high. Chase from Watson. Here's LaRue. Great take, Billy LaRue. But Daly's there. Bulldozes over the top. But the Springboks have got numbers back. It is an absolute arm wrestle out there. Neither team giving an inch at the moment. There's been no mistakes, no penalties. It's been quite a long time of box kicks, high ball competition. Mapimpi goes up for this one from Faf de Klerk, but Elliot Daly equal to it again. Youngs, now a penalty. We've got a whistle. Oh, and it's the assistant referee. He's got the flag up. There's no harm. The call is possibly that Mapimpi was taken out on his kick chase. Ben Youngs is looking on like he's just had his toys all stolen from the cot. Penalty to South Africa. Big play. Big decision. Grassy, are they really going for goal? This is... Oh, that was actually Anthony Watson has really pummeled him, hasn't he? Way off his line. You're way off his line. Sorry, Watson. That is blatant. Absolutely blatant. But if you get away from it, it's giving your team an easy catch of the ball. This is over halfway. Andre Pollard. Let's write it up. His 8th penalty shot at goal. I can't quite believe those numbers. Right. Over halfway. He's probably... How much in from touch? It's a bit hard to tell on the angle. 6 from 7 he is. Let's see what Pollard can do. 18-12 the score. 1 bottle down. And we're in the second half. Where's bottle number 2? Here it is. Pollard. Big kick here. It's only about 10 in from touch. Oh, it's a bit of a scud. It's a shocker. It's a nightmare. It's a tragedy from Pollard. And it is well short. England kick it back. And they get it up to halfway. And goodness me, look at Billy Vunipola. He's almost wearing a Canadian shirt. It's that red. Or a Welsh shirt. So Khaleesi's making his way off. And Francois Lowe is on. Will he be lifting the Rugby World Cup, the William Webb Ellis Trophy, in 17 minutes' time? Who knows? To the front it goes. And South Africa get it out to Pollard, who goes high and wide. Mapimpi looking, eyeing it up against Daly. Oh, it's a tussle. Whose ball's this? How do you call that? It's advantage South Africa. Penalty on their side. Maul taken by England. And it is a scrum feed to South Africa. Who took this? Who took this? Then it's... Neither team is going to release that. Pimpy, he's getting the pats on the back from arm, squashed under about 6 bodies. Where's Johnny May's speed? Says Ashley. Where's Johnny May's space? Ashley, he's had no time, he's had no opportunities, he's had no space. So it is a scrum feed on the 10-metre line. Springboks ball, 5 to Clark, will feed. And it goes. Oh, quickly out as well. Straight out to Delendy. And as he always does, he runs those straight and hard to Clark. Waits till the forwards come around, and it's Franco Mostert that runs straight into the red-covered Billy Vunipola. Flat one and a hard one to pick up there for Malcolm Marks, but he does well and again goes forward with the ball. De Klerk running a great line here was Snyman. Quick ball as well, but De Klerk holds it back. And Atolse gets flattened for his troubles. Pollard has a bit of a run. He runs in. Who does he run into there? Was that Ben Youngs or Owen Farrell? It's both of them. De Klerk. Billy LaRue. Little chip on the top looking for Mapimpi, but it's picked up nicely. Daly is going to be pushed. Very close, but not quite to the sideline. England in their own 22. Running straight into Mostert as Vunipola. Box kick from Youngs. Waiting is LaRue. Oh, great tackle on Billy LaRue there. Charging straight over the top. England was Tom Curry. Not their way. His arm. Short. Mark skips to Mapimpi. Little chip over the top. It's Mapimpi and arm. Arm gets the ball. Back to Mapimpi. Marcosola. Mapimpi gets the try. And the Springboks will be lifting William Webb Ellis in 14 minutes time. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What is going on? The chat kind of having a bit of a seizure. TMO call, says Glassy. Mapimpi Andres, where have you been, my friend? Brilliant try. They're looking for offside against Lacanio Arm. We'll have a look. You know what we haven't heard? You know what we haven't heard? Is check, 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 check. Ben Skeen here. Benny. Oi. Let's have a look at what we got. So it looks like a try. Everyone's going try, Ashley. Awesome. Looks okay, says Classy. Let's have a look ourselves, shall we? Forward pass. Ooh, that Marks one was... Ooh. It's not flat. It's not on the... Is it on the line? Marks. Oh. Mapimpi. Well, Lacanyo was certainly onside. There's no question about that. But that pass from Malcolm Marks. Nothing clear and obvious, says Ben Skeen. And it is a try! Try to Mapimpi! There's the 5-pointer! We've talked about it all game long! One try is going to make all the difference. And that is what they needed. Little short side numbers play. And then the chip kick. How about that from Lacanyo Arm? Just flicking it over the side. What a try. What a brilliant finish. The original king himself. We cannot forget Marcosola Mapimpi. He is a channel legend. He's a channel icon. Now he's a World Cup icon as well. Let's get it up. Let's get it updated. I'm a bit behind. I've been celebrating this too much. Marcosola Mapimpi. Gotta love that. And Pollard, 1 from 1. Let's add 7 to the score. That makes it 25-12. That is almost brilliant. England regather the kickoff. And a mistake by England, and Atolse has a bit of a run, mostly sideways. And now, England needs to attack. France Stain is on for Villy LaRue. It's a good round here from Youngs. Oh, intercept almost there for Colby, but he's knocked it on. Malolia, go guys, bring it home, he says. He, she, they. 3 World Cups. Celebrate. Celebrate the stuffed cheese. The ABs don't have the monopoly on great tries. Imagine that. Imagine if Colby had snaffled this one. That would have been amazing. What is the time looking like? 68. I'm a little bit ahead of the time. Let's fix it up for you guys. There we go. We're just short of the 70-minute mark. But we are 25-12 Rugby World Cup final. Never underestimate the box, says Victor. Remember the 95 final? How can we forget one of the most iconic Rugby World Cup grand finals? This one, not too far away, but the box are in control now. A 13-point buffer as England look to get themselves back in the game. They need to try. 3 won't do it. They've got advantage. Vermeulen, no, that's not Vermeulen. It's Vincent Koch who's over the ball. And a penalty straight away. Tapped. Tapped from Youngs. Looks out to the right-hand side. Watson away from Delaney. Steps inside but just tripped down from Stain. Is he going to be a hero? Will he be the man later on? Etolje. Didn't get the pass away to Luke Cowan-Dickey. England now, 12 out. Vunipola gets 10 out. Youngs away to... What's going on here? Is it a knock-on? Knock-on England. Scrum penalty to South Africa. And all the talk of Eddie Jones and his master tactics have been undone by a brilliantly brutal Springboks side. So what's this here? Watson trying to get past Stain and... Well, he has. He's lost it there. Well, I mean, how'd they call that? How do you see that? Big chance blowing. Should have kicked. Sisatunga, you're right. They should have kicked. Time is off again. It's pretty much in the final 10. Let's get that timer right. There we go. Andres. Andres has got words to say now. Are the nerves gone, Andres? Are you feeling confident yet? I keep telling people Eddie Jones is overrated. He's not as good as people make him to be. I tell you what. Eddie Jones has done great work for England. But they are going to fall, surely, 1 match short. Their final, we talk about it, I think, all through this tournament. The All Blacks played their final against Ireland. That was their really big focus. All that talk over what this Irish team's done to the All Blacks over the last few years. All that pent up focus on Ireland. They didn't focus on England the same. That was their final. England's final was against the All Blacks. Because they know one way or another they were going to meet the All Blacks in this Rugby World Cup. And now England are going to falter at the final. The Springboks, they haven't really dominated a game. They've been solid. They've been unspectacular but consistent. Wales played their final against South Africa, but it wasn't enough to beat the consistency of the Springboks. Well, Defkin, I can tell you, I picked the Boks by 3. And I'm pretty happy to say, at least I got the right team. No one backed the Springboks to win this. All the picks were heavily to the English. And I can tell you what, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with this performance by South Africa. Victor says there's only one team he would have worried about, and that's the All Blacks. Rest are just cannon fodder, with all due respect. Yep, England's, their whole build-up was focused on one team, and that was the All Blacks. And they played the perfect game against the All Blacks as well. But at the end of the day, whoever they were going to meet in the final, unless it was the All Blacks, they weren't going to get the job done. They've not been anywhere near as intense, as powerful, as prolific, as clinical as they were on that day. We are getting back underway, however. We are pretty much now into the final 10 minutes as Fifth de Klerk is box kicked away straight after winning that scrum and puts the English back down the field. Look, Cowan Dickey throws in, cruises at the back, and Youngs just hangs on. Farrell goes short to Tuolangi, and he is just driven backwards by Dale Endy and Andre Pollard, who are brilliant. Into contact again. England won out rugby. Now they get a bit of width, so that's a good pass through to Johnny May. He just can't, no, it's Daly, Elliot Daly, and he's knocked it on the tackle. Springboks get the ball. This is huge. Back it goes. Front Steyn with a bullet ball. Huge kick from Steyn, 22-22. Running back as Farrell finds good pass too. And on the field is Slade as well. And the whistle is in the mouth, but it hangs on just short of halfway. Youngs, Vunipola pops it back to Cruz. And again, South Africa very strong over the breakdown. Dane Vermeulen has had a storming game as the number 8. He is fantastic in the tackle. Now it's Joseph who's gone backwards a few metres. Here's another mindless run from Cruz. Marla, they shape to pass, but there's no one to pass it to. Youngs to Farrell. Nice little ball to Cowan Dickey. Gives it off to Wilson. And the bench is showing England don't have that impact. Here is, knock on. And there's the ball away. Colby picks it up. Loose ball's dropped. Colby steps through two. Chesley Colby! Game, set, match. It is all over. It is all over. Chesley Colby scores a brilliant try against the run of play. Ball is dropped all over. Red Rover, shut the gate, turn off the lights. This one's all done. Goodness gracious me. It is turned on massively here. The emotion on Khaleesi already as he's on the sideline. And everyone's jumping on the support of the Springboks. Slade, big tackle there from Malcolm Marks. Arm didn't pick it up. And a fiery ball out to Colby, who dances. He dances brilliantly past Farrell. Too much gas for Vunipola. And he leaves him for dust. The fist pump is true. And the box, as in the comments from Xavier, too strong for the English. And now the passion is there. And we know who our victors are now. The elation in the stands, the elation on the field, the elation on the sideline. Siya Kolisi knows one thing he's got to do now, and that will be to lift the Holy Grail. Colby's got the try, and Pollard swirls the conversion straight between the uprights. 2 from 2. It is now a thumping, a World Cup final thumping. And we're the heads of the English now with 5 minutes to play. And the ball is squirt free off the kickoff, and Lekanyuam has picked it up! Lekanyuam! Brilliant offload to Kitsoff. Everything is sticking now for South Africa. De Klerk, Pollard, crossfield kick. Mbimbi's the only one there. Oh, it doesn't sit up. Dale Endy tries to grab it, but Watson has it. A lucky bounce would have been another try. Joseph plays scrum half. England in their own 22, under all sorts of pressure, behind by 20. And they've got nowhere to go. Outnumbered on defence. Joseph beats the tackle of De Klerk, but only goes forward a metre or two. Swinging wide as Farrell picks up a very low pass. He's done a good job. The Springboks are all over this. 4 minutes to play, folks. 4 minutes to play. And it is all South Africa. Who would have picked this? 20 points is a huge margin. Joseph goes wide and Mpimpi's threatening tackle on Manutūlangi has seen him drop the ball cold, and we've got a scrum feed. South Africa. What a game this has been. Tight in the first. Absolute domination in the second by South Africa. There is going to be some big drinking going on tonight in South Africa. In Japan as well. The numbers the Springboks are bringing. And the people, the fans, they will be elated. Faf's got the big smile. There it is. He knows he's done a masterclass. Absolute masterclass. Marish, I tell you say the whole nation is behind all of them. Keep it up. I tell you what, New Zealand is behind the Springboks. Australia is behind the Springboks. Nothing more than keeping it in the Southern Hemisphere. If we can't win it, let's let our Tri-Nations brothers, our Rugby Championship brothers, the Springboks, get the job done. There's nothing more than the immense rivalry between the All Blacks and the Springboks, but there's nothing more than the immense respect that we know the Springboks bring to this game. The drinking's already started, Deathgear. The scrum is away, and Vermeulen picks and goes off the back. Herschel Yankees is on. Here's Snyman charging up, as he always does so well. Yankees waits. Koss didn't really want that at speed, and he stops and waits. They're going to wind down the clock here, South Africa. A drop goal. Maybe? It is! Drop goal is away! Wow! It's not even close. Not even close. Stephen Marks, not even going to repeat that, but well played, sir. 22 dropout goes up, and it's out on the full. It's out on the full. Daly couldn't take it. Colby lets that one fly over his head. What time is it in South Africa? Look at this. They're already etching the name in the cup. I suppose 20 points. Long flight home for the Morris dancers. Yet again, 95, 2007, 2019. So the Springboks will win the next World Cup in 2031. Absolute elation. Let's hear it for the Springboks. England always make themselves to be contenders, says Victor. Same thing in football. Same thing in rugby. It's 12:54. So AM or PM. So it's lunchtime or it's midnight. Here come the Springboks from the scrum. Pollard having a bit of a scamper. Here's Yankees. Oh, Snyman gets hammered. It's lunchtime, midday. What better time to celebrate? Midday Saturday. Get involved, everyone in South Africa. Celebrate your team because they have been phenomenally good. Absolutely dismantling this English side. Thrashing them, bullying them, crunching them. Yeah, no, tell you what. Enjoy that beer, sir. Enjoy that beer. It's another one-off play. Yankees, he knows what to do. He doesn't need to be a hero here tonight. He's been a hero before. He's done it for the Stormers. He's done it for the Springboks. But now, Herschel Yankees just needs to wind down the clock. Kitshoff goes to the short side. The drinking starts now. I don't blame you. I'll tell you what. There's a whiskey in this glass, and I'm going to enjoy that on the hands of the Springboks. Well played, my friends. Well played. Let the rise begin. Celebration time. The ball goes back. Into touch it goes. And South Africa are the Rugby World Cup champions for 2019. Celebration. Jesse Crell's there. We're all there. The emotion is running rampant. Sia Khaleesi knows, and he can't control it. Malcolm Marks can't believe it. And for the English, it is the pain, it is the disappointment of another Rugby World Cup loss. John Smith is coming out as well. Elton Yankees is coming in. They're all doing their big work. Look at Dane Vermeulen. He can't believe his luck. The disappointment is there from the English, but tell you what, we don't care. This is all about South Africa and the 3-time Rugby World Cup champions. There's your score above me right now. And let's get rid of that, because you know what time it is. That's right, my friends. It is full time. And you know what? You know what? We're not even going to cut to full time. We're going to cut to something even better. I don't know if this is going to fit, but we're going to throw it in there anyway. Can we edit it up? Can we slap it in? There we go. Who cares? Who matters? It's 32-12. It is all over. It is done and dusted. And South Africa are your Rugby World Cup champions. Party time. Look at the comments in there. You've got to love it. Enjoy this, South Africa. Enjoy it every single inch. Look at the faces. Look at the fans. The white jerseys are quietly shrinking away. When am I streaming again, Yano? What do you mean? The World Cup's over. It's all done. Andre Pollard, a replay of kicking for touch. What a tournament. What a tournament it's been. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. What a dominant display from the Springboks. Herschel Jantjies is lifted like he's the Lion King. South Africa beat nobody to get to the final, says Stephen. Well, you beat who's put in front of you. And they are, let's be fair now, they are the first team to win a Rugby World Cup after losing a pool match. And like we talked about before, all of the other teams played a big match. South Africa didn't need to play their big game until now. The All Blacks played their big game against Ireland. Wales played their big game and failed against the Springboks. England played their big game against the All Blacks. That left only one team to the end. Devastation for Owen Farrell, but I mean, how many of you have sympathy for Owen Farrell? I don't think many of you will. No one really has sympathy. Oh, no worries for those of you working who couldn't watch the game. I missed your comment further up, but just saw it. Could not watch working. It's a pain to have to work through this. But do celebrate this. South Africa, brilliant work. Excellent work. Owen Farrell. Well, he's given it to his fans, to the fans of England, who have been brilliant. The singing of Old Sweet Low, you just can't miss that sort of stuff. But again, England fall short. And I'll tell you what, Stephen, a lot of people work on. I'm working. I start working about, well, I've got to be up in about 5 hours or so to go to work myself. So, sadly, that's the way it goes. Here he is. Sia Khaleesi. The crowd just go bananas when they see him. He is struggling. He is struggling to hold this in. What a captain, Adonga, you're right. He is a leader. He is a real leader, that is for sure. And he goes down with such a elite group of Springbok captains to have lifted the William Webb Ellis Trophy. Well, he hasn't lifted it yet, but he will lift it very, very soon. You can guarantee that. What are you talking about? 4 past all day long. The game's over. Well, for anyone who discounts this as the Springboks didn't have to beat anyone decent, you only beat what's in front of you. You've got to beat the best to win the World Cup. And the fact of the matter is that England prepared for years to beat the All Blacks when they didn't prepare to beat anyone else. tells a pretty tall tale. They were outplayed, out-muscled, out-tacticked, out at everything. Eddie Jones couldn't prepare for another big test. After taking 2 years to prepare for one, he couldn't prepare for another in 6 days. The first try, Malcolm Marks pass, I presume you mean, to Mapimpi. It was a close one, no doubt. I'll give you that. It was touch and go. Another day, another ref might have given it another way, but it certainly wasn't, obviously, one way or the other. And I mean, you can't... Yes, that was a massive turning point. But you can't call that to be the one decisive thing. You're right, Adunga. You have to remember the Japanese. That was a real mental hurdle. That was a real mental hurdle for the Springboks to get over that Japanese side. I don't know. I know, AC Dell. England have not looked in this game for the whole match. That little stanza before half-time where they dominated but could not crack the Springboks' defence. That was the telling moment of the game. Since then, they never looked like they were going to score. You did right, fair play. You play the whistle, you play to the end of the game. England did fantastic work to get here, but not enough at the end to get the job done. Victor, I won't argue with you there, mate. I won't argue with it all. You can't pick one moment and say that would have decided the game. If that pass was called forward, I don't think England would have won this game regardless. It would have been a little bit tighter, but still, I don't think so. Sooner or later, England had to get desperate. And you saw when England got desperate, they had nothing. They got desperate, they threw the ball, they tried to chance their arm, and they conceded again. They could not win this game getting desperate. England had to be within 3 to win this game, or leading. They were never in that situation of leading the game, and that, pretty much for me, is why they could not get in control of this match to win it. Mr. Corn, can rugby crack the US market? Oh, 100%. 100%. I think it's already cracking the USA market. MLR rugby is proving to be a big success. That needs to keep on the pressure. That needs to keep it going and build on what the first season has already been, or the first couple of seasons already been, which has been brilliant. So hopefully some more of that. I think the Americans, maybe not in France in 2023, but possibly after that, or even as soon as France, they're going to be much more of a threat than we've seen from them in the past. They're getting a better and better team. And yeah, like Adunga says, USA need a game where they can win. That's why they've got American football. To be fair to you, they can win rugby. Look at the success they've got in sevens. I think they can definitely challenge the world of rugby, that is for sure. Celebrations on the field for the Springboks. Herschel Yankees leading a little dance that I'm not going to try to replicate because I'll look like an idiot. So here it comes. Who's got the World Cup? Is it Richie? Richie's here. Well, he would have loved to have been giving this to Kieran Reid, wouldn't he? But he's not going to. He's going to be handing it over to none other than Slayer Khaleesi. Oh, he's got speed bumps. Look out, Richie. Goodness gracious me, who put that there? The World Cup is coming. This is a monumental occasion. What do you guys reckon in the chat? What have you made of that game? What have you thought about England? What have you thought about your Springboks? Because they have been simply spectacular. I want to hear what Eddie Jones has to say here. Yep, Eddie says they struggled to get on the front foot. Couldn't agree more because they didn't have that dominance in the forward. And they didn't get a Tajay going forward. The Vunipola boys weren't going forward. Curry and Underhill weren't going forward with ball in hand. They lose that, they've lost their game. They could control the forwards against the All Blacks, but they were never going to win this game in the backs. The English just don't know how to attack in the backs. And with that one-on-one defensive, especially that midfield combination, Delendi and Arm, they were always going to be all over this, and they controlled that. And from there on in, that just put the English in a corner, and they could not really work their way out of it. They couldn't go forward, and that cost them big time throughout. What a day to be a Springboks fan. What a day to be a South African. Anyone in the chat, South African fan, South African person, celebrate this, enjoy this. Your team has been brilliant. And to beat that record of being the first team to win a Rugby World Cup, losing a pool match, I do nothing but applaud the amazing work, the development, and the confidence and the belief of this side, which is a strong part led by none other than Captain Khaleesi. Stephen's in Canada, and there is a huge tournament. I know, but no one here knows about it, sadly. Lead the charge, Stephen. Lead the charge. Get some more support going out there in our lives. Could be a big tournament, a big worldwide, well, a global watching tournament, that's for sure. Compare England's final game to their semi-final win versus New Zealand. Compare every team that's lost in the playoffs. Compare the game before they lost. We're green and gold in Canada. Player of the match, Vermeulen, is that confirmed? Dunga, because if it is, I would not disagree. He's been immense. Absolutely immense. His work at the breakdown, brilliant. Superb. And now all I need to get is a Springboks World Cup shirt. Who's got one? I need to be sent one. Martha. Yes. Dane Vermeulen, you're right. Dunga, he is the man of the match. What's he got to say? Such a soft-spoken man for such a brutal player that he is. He knew he was in a match. Springboks won by a mile, Ashley, you're right. Detoy has been immense all tournament long. Deserves player of the year in his opinion. Lewis says, yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Punk, a Scotsman listening in Azerbaijan. Well done to the Springboks. Pure passion and amazing work ethic. Thanks for the coverage. No problem, Punk. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming by, my friend. It's been a brilliant final. It's great to see rugby fans like you guys here in the chat from everywhere. From Canada, Stephen. From Scotland and Azerbaijan. From all over the globe. Watching this big event. A great game. And you know what? You know what was great about this as well? Semi-finals, final. No cards. No yellow cards. No red cards. No hugely contentious decisions. Victors from Portugal. That is brilliant. Rugby is a global sport, and it's amazing that you guys are out here following, supporting the game, and watching it from everywhere. Owen's in from Ireland as well. It's been a sad tournament for you Irish folks, but I think you're probably getting a little bit of a revenge with your neighbours in England doing the job versus the All Blacks after the All Blacks did the job to the Irish. But there it is, Dane Vermeulen. Fantastic, man of the match, well deserved. I would agree with that. Player of the grand final, Dane Vermeulen. And as we talked about in the build-up, the back row versus the back row was going to be where this game is won and lost. And when you get a man, Dane Vermeulen, picking up man of the match, that tells you one thing, that the South African back row, the Springboks, the Khaleesi, the Detoy, and of course the Vermeulens of that team got the edge over the English. You know, neither South Africa or England won their own scrum or lost the lineouts. The set piece was key. Very, very, very key. Thanks for the kind words, Victor. I try to be completely unbiased, but I did have a little bit of desire for the Springboks to win this one. Oh, the lights have gone out. What's going on here? Pitch black. Here it is. I want to stick around to the presentation of the World Cup, because this is a monumental occasion, iconic occasion. And this is what we watched the last 6 weeks, the 48 matches. I can't believe I've watched every minute of 48 games of the Rugby World Cup over the last 6 weeks. It has been a great pleasure. Michael Leach is here as well. Now, isn't he a national hero for the Japanese? Tell you what, let me know what you think in the chat. But Japan have been, I think, one of the greatest global hosts of any global sporting event that I've ever seen. Their support for teams that are not theirs is unwavering. Their passion to learn about other nations, to adopt other nations, to bring that into their lives, and to support these sides, and to get in behind these teams has just been phenomenal. And they just love sport. I can't wait till the Olympics are here this time next year. I think about August, July, August next year. The Olympics will be here in Japan. Same stadiums, same places. Dunga, thanks for coming by. 2 hours. Yes, it has been almost 2.5. It is almost 12:30 in the morning. That's midnight here in New Zealand. But there's no substitute. There's no replacement for a Rugby World Cup final. And Japan has brought the dance to the ultimate show. It has been brilliant. I've enjoyed every second of this tournament. From the opening ceremony, which was a great display of the culture, of the passion, of everything that Japan offers. And I would have loved to have gone to the Japan for this World Cup. I would have loved to have got some tickets to this game, but unfortunately, that proved a little more difficult than I anticipated, sadly. But maybe in 4 years' time, maybe in another 4 years' time, we'll be off to Paris. We will see what happens then. The two sides are about ready to receive their medals. The referees are coming on first. Jerome Garcias, I thought, has been pretty decent. There was a lot of displeasure that he was the referee for this game. But I think he did all right. A couple of tough calls, but he did pretty much get this game right on the head. Garcias, yes, he loves it. Good on him. Well played. He copped a lot of criticism, and I think he's done himself pretty proud with his performance. Romain Poit is beside him. And, of course, Ben O'Keefe as well. Ben Skeen, the TMO. No real check required on that one. Stephen, I tell you what, how come they are kicking Japan out of Super Rugby, I presume you mean? I don't know. I tell you what, there's been talk in the media that Sansa are reconsidering the place of Japan or the Sunwolves in Super Rugby post-2020. So, Sansa are a nut job. They are a nut job. What they will do, who knows? I think a lot will depend on how the Sunwolves go in 2020 in Super Rugby. If they are looking good, they've got a few wins mid-halfway through the season, I think Sansa may reinstate them. The performance of Japan in this Rugby World Cup and the passion of the fans, the support that this country brings, this nation brings to rugby, cannot be ignored. Because there is money here. There is money in Japan. And even when the Sunwolves lose game after game after game, the crowd still turn out week after week after week. And that just goes to show these guys here, these fans, the tears in the crowd, they are the real champions here. And they certainly need to be in an international global rugby tournament. Whether it be Super Rugby, whether it be the Rugby Championship, Japan needs to be involved. Will we see the Sunwolves continue in Super Rugby? Will we see Japan included into the Rugby Championship? I certainly do hope so in the future, because I think they will be a team that should certainly do themselves proud and develop continuously. If they can keep hold of Jamie Joseph, that is something they'll want to certainly be at the top of their list of things to do. England still getting their medals. Of course, they played one game less than everyone else during pool stages, or one of the teams to play one game less. Carl Sinclair obviously getting his medal, going off earlier in the game. He doesn't want the silver. He's ripped it straight off his neck. You can't help but be disappointed, England. They played so well to get here, but they just didn't have that second game plan. Plenty of support for the Springboks in the chat as well. Gotta love this. Look at this. Japanese fans in the crowd wearing Japanese kits, crying because of this emotional overflow of the Rugby World Cup. Their team's gone, long gone. They have no affiliation to either England or South Africa. They have no reason to commit to either of these sides, yet they still support them endlessly. And that's what is superb about Japan. As a country, as people, they are up there with the kindest and the greatest supporters in the world. We will see plenty more of these English players, though. Maro Itoje is a guy who we are going to see a lot more of in the future. And of course, Sam Underhill and Tom Curry are going to be in this English team for a long, long time. Eddie Jones, though, where does he go next? Where does the English coach go? Back to Australia? Does he stay in England? Does he go somewhere else in the Northern Hemisphere? Does he go back to the South? Who's going to win that battle for Dave Rennie? So much is going to happen over the Rugby Southern Hemisphere off-season. And through, of course, the Pro 14 and the Premiership up in the north. What a World Cup it has been. It's such a sad time when it comes to a close, isn't it? Such a sad time. The tears are there for the English fans, but give them some credit. They're stuck by their team, and they're there till the bitter end. To support is, again, just like the Japanese, it is undying. As we get to the end of the English players, Eddie Jones, the last to receive his medal. And he gets a round of applause as well. He is the favourite here of the people in Japan, as Eddie Jones. He really does get the fans behind his team. He walks off disappointed, but the respect is well and truly there for the English coach. We'll stay with it until the Springboks lift the trophy, which they are next in line. And then we will wrap up. We will wrap up here for the Rugby World Cup. Wrap up these live streams for this tournament. What a tournament it has been as well. What have you guys thought about the streams during the game? Those of you who can't watch it, certainly has been great to be able to bring you guys the games, bring you guys updates. Of course, the chat, everything like that as well, has been awesome. Men against boys, says Steve Phillips. Springboks were a class above. They have been superb. Sia Khaleesi makes his way up, respectful and integral as always. A real leader of this side. He's looking for William. He's looking for him. Andre Pollard. Tendai Tawera, the beast. World Cup champion. Evan Etzebeth. Big smile on his face. Bongi and Benambi. What a season it's been for him. Was forcing his way in through Malcolm Marks, who had not as great a season. Faf de Klerk, #1 scrum half in the world right now. Citizen Colby, #1 winger in the world right now. Big players, big game players, big performance players as well. Here's Billy LaRue, another ringing for this Springboks side, and what an addition he's been. Malcolm Marks, one of the great hookers of Springboks rugby as well. Out in Yankees. Well, he beat up a few minnows, but it means a lot to him still. Ludiaga nursing looks like a big arm injury there. Franz Maholber, the big man, big hearts, big match as well. Here he is, Stephen Kitchoff, his front row partner. Gotta love that. He has been immense as well. The Springbok pack, but most amazingly, the Springbok front row has been a highlight in this final. Lekanyawam, Franco Mostert, and here's another one, Haji Snyman. What a monster he is. Makazola Mapimpi, the original king himself. Love that man. Here he is. Look at this. Schalk Brits. I love Schalk Brits. He is fantastic. He is a legend. Never forget Schalk Brits. Signs of thank you Japan in the crowd. Amazing. Jesse Crill's getting his medal as well. Quagga Smith, another channel legend. Look at the tears. The Springbok fans, what does it mean to them? 12 years, and I can tell you what, I know what it means. 2011, watching the All Blacks finally win the Rugby World Cup has to be one of the most emotional, overwhelming feelings you can ever feel. And the Springboks, 12 years since, they're feeling that right now. And full credit to them. What a team. What a bunch of players. Such stars. And they deserve it all. Losing their first game against the All Blacks, a blessing in the skies maybe for the Springboks. But they were going to beat anyone on this day. Faf de Klerk, he looks like he's just come out of bed. He looks like he's ready to go again. SpongeBob, England's stack was dreadful. We couldn't even string a pass together. You did right. England really weren't on their gameplay tonight. They weren't on their plan. They were nowhere to be seen in this game. They held tight as both sides were happy just to pop up with the threes. But come full time, popping up the threes was not enough as the two wingers grabbed a try apiece. You can see it up here. Makazola Mapimpi, Cheslin Colby, there he is, Colby himself, back from injury, missed the Welsh game. And imagine that. To play this game. Simply outstanding. Rassie Erasmus though, Springbok fans in the chat, tell me what your thoughts are now of Rassie Erasmus. How he has changed this team. Quite outstanding. Ser Khaleesi, look at him. He's such a team man. He's saying to his team, come with me, lift the trophy with me. And his team is saying, no leader, no captain. You are the man. You are our leader. You are our champion. And Ser Khaleesi gets the William Webb Ellis trophy and lifts it aloft in front of the Springboks fans. World Cup champions 2019. Ser Khaleesi leads the Springboks, and that is an iconic shot you will never want to forget. Now the emotion starts. Khaleesi looking stone-faced as he tries to hold it all together. Look at the elation. His team, his leadership, and his nation means so much to that man and these fans as well. Well deserved. It's fireworks. What's going on in the background there? There's 4 guys getting covered in smoke as the fireworks have fallen over. Disaster. Goodness gracious me, I can't quite believe that. They have done it, South Africa. Look at Schalk Brits at the back. He's there with Dave Vermeulen, and they are 2 absolute veterans. And they are standing back, and they are watching. Because they know careers for them may be coming to a close. Schalk Brits definitely will be on his way now. This is what dreams are made of. Why you become a rugby player is for a moment like this. And the Springboks will now make their lap of honour around the field. These pictures tell 1,000 words. Victory, champions, South Africa. We talked about it a lot, about England, how they played their final last week. The All Blacks played their final in the quarterfinal. Wales failed in their match of the tournament against South Africa. All the big teams peaked a week or two too early, except for the Springboks. And they have come away with Bill himself with a William Webb Ellis trophy. Peter Steph Toy's got the cup, and he's given it to Stephen Kitshoff, and it makes its way back to Sia Khaleesi. You've got to love it. This has been brilliant. Alex is happy. And big thanks to the sub there from Non-Kalisko. There goes the champagne. Franz Stein sploshing his teammates. And the celebrations, they have begun. Heineken everywhere. It's not champagne, it's just straight up Heineken. Why the hell not? I'd love a Heineken. Russie. Oh, Russie's getting a mouthful. You've got to love it. That is it. The Rugby World Cup is all over. From myself, these streams, these videos, all the content over the tournaments, all the readings you guys have done on BehindThePost.com, all the support on Twitter, the support on the channel, the subscriptions, the donations, super chats, everything like that. From all you guys out there, I thank you all so very, very much for your support and for your viewership. Everyone who's come along for the final, thank you all so much for coming by. Springboks are your World Cup champions. If you're a South African, if you're from there, if you support them, enjoy this. You deserve it. You are the best in the world. The Springboks are world number ones. Tonight will be forever etched in history. Sia Khaleesi, the captain, the leader. And he will be remembered forever now in Springbok folklore as we go into the future. Thank you all for coming by. Thank you all for having your say during the tournament as well. I will see you all next time. Plenty more live streams coming up. It won't be, though, with real rugby. We'll have some gaming live streams if we can get some more rugby games before the end of the year. Otherwise, we'll do the same for Super Rugby next year. Gladiator, you're asleep. There's your score, Gladiator. 32-12. Full time it is. Thank you all for coming by. Hi and bye, Gladiator. I'll see you all next time. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss on all the new videos, all the new streams we're going to be doing all through the next few months and, of course, into a new rugby season. Thank you again, everyone, for coming by. You guys are amazing and awesome. Well done, South Africa. Enjoy it, celebrate it, and we'll see you all next time. Until then, thanks for coming by. Thanks for stopping in, and as always, take care. Enjoy it, guys. Celebrate this. Springboks. Amazing.